Chapter 681. You can get lost now. The Dragon Emperor in dragon form was blasted away, his skin torn and flesh gaping. However, also because of the dragon form, its defense had been greatly improved. Under the protection of the law armor, the injuries were not serious. Impossible, this emperor doesn't believe it. Lin Moyu's unscathed appearance stimulated the Dragon Emperor. The Dragon Emperor rushed towards Lin Moyu like a madman, with a giant axe appearing in his hand. The axe was entwined with laws. Just holding it in his hand caused the space to shatter, its power was extremely powerful. The moment he took out the giant axe, the Dragon Emperor's aura soared violently, as if reaching another level. Lin Moyu was shocked, the Dragon Emperor was different from before. A strong sense of danger grew in his heart, and his soul kept sending warnings. The Dragon Emperor in this state was invincible. Lin Moyu's soul moved, and 3 consecutive god-slaying lightning strikes exploded in the air. Purple light filled the sky, a sea of thunder appeared, obscuring vision. While launching the god-slaying lightning, his soul moved, activating Antares' dragon scale. The Dragon Emperor charged out of the sea of thunder, covered in blood and the aura of scorched earth. But at this time, Lin Moyu's whereabouts had been lost. He couldn't be found with the eyes, and the soul lock had also suddenly disappeared just now. 2 seconds later, the Dragon Emperor realized that Lin Moyu had escaped, and it was furious. Get out here, if you have the guts, don't run away. Get out here, this emperor will chop you up. The Dragon Emperor was like a madman, slashing wildly with the giant axe in the void, creating terrifying cracks in the air. The Demon Emperor watched Lin Moyu leave with its own eyes, and then saw the Dragon Emperor going crazy and angry, with disdain. What an idiot, if Lin Moyu hadn't left, you would be the one who died. So what if you have the Dragon Emperor battle axe in the future? In front of him, giving you thousands or tens of thousands more Dragon Emperor battle axes would be useless. The Demon Emperor retracted its gaze and didn't want to look at the Dragon Emperor again. The Demon Emperor was very disdainful of this kind of mentally retarded and mindless guy. It leaned lazily on the Demon Emperor's throne, its eyes were very complicated, and it muttered to itself, how should I get along with Lin Moyu next? This guy, I can't kill him, and I can't surrender. If I don't surrender, when he reaches the demigod level, I'm afraid he will directly kill into the abyss. Can I stop him? It's really a headache, how could the human race produce such a guy? Annoying, so annoying. At this time, the Demon Emperor had lost its former demeanor, like an ordinary person, worried about something. Antares looked at Lin Moyu who appeared not far away. Had enough fun? Lin Moyu said with excitement, yeah, had enough fun. What are you so happy about? Antares was a little strange, obviously he couldn't beat him and ran back, why was he still so happy? Lin Moyu had nothing to hide from Antares. Do you still remember the talent I awakened when I was at 3rd job advancement? I remember, full renewal, it's a relatively perverted talent. A 1-minute rebirth opportunity, disgusting. Antares couldn't help complaining, at the same time it felt, how good it would be if this talent was given to itself. Lin Moyu said, I discovered another use for it, it renews even the soul when it renews. Boom, Antares' head slammed heavily on the ground, smashing out a large pit, and the streamers in the sky instantly became chaotic, exploding into fireworks. Lin Moyu asked strangely, is it necessary to make such a big commotion? Antares' eyes were filled with impossibility, it tried hard to swallow. You said, this talent can even renew the soul. Really, are you mistaken? Lin Moyu said very definitely, there's no mistake. He used the soul-splitting technique to split out a wisp of soul to drive the law and withstand the backlash of the law. Without affecting his own foundation, he could split out up to 5 wisps. At that time, Lin Moyu already wanted to leave, but the Dragon Emperor's attack was too fierce, and he activated the full renewal talent all at once. Lin Moyu was surprised to find that not only was he spared from death, the skill cooldown was restored, the Undead Legion was reborn, but even the soul was renewed together. In other words, he could split out 5 wisps of soul again and continue to use the god-slaying lightning. How could Lin Moyu not be excited about this discovery? He had a new understanding of his talent, it was really too strong. Antares stared at Lin Moyu, muttering to himself, perverted, too perverted, how can there be such a talent? Lin Moyu asked strangely, in the outside world, there are countless strong people, isn't there such a talent? Antares shook its big head, I've never heard of it. Talents that involve the soul are rare, and the effect won't be too strong. I've really never heard of your kind of talent that can restore the soul. Even Antares had never heard of it. Lin Moyu realized that his talent might really be amazing. Antares suddenly became serious. You must never tell others that you have such a talent in the future, it will be dangerous. In its words, the air suddenly became viscous, and the atmosphere instantly became different. Lin Moyu was also infected, and said in a low voice, "What danger?" Antares said, "Some evil methods can steal people's talents." Lin Moyu suddenly had a creepy feeling, there was even such a method. Indeed, there are countless strong people in the outside world, anything is possible. His world is just a small island in the sea, the outside world is very dangerous, anything is possible. Lin Moyu calmed down from his excitement and warned himself not to be careless. This world is far from as simple as he thought. 0. Lin Moyu said, "I know, I won't tell anyone." Antares hummed, "Also, the ancient thunder pagoda is just an external object after all, you can't rely on it too much. And with your strength, you are not enough to exert all the power of the ancient thunder pagoda, let alone control the god-slaying fortress." Lin Moyu humbly accepted, he knew that he was far from enough. "Thank you." Lin Moyu thanked sincerely. Antares snorted, "No need, just stop trying to get information out of me in the future." "No problem," Lin Moyu said with a smile. He agreed first, as for whether he could do it, that was not the same thing. Lin Moyu was sincerely grateful to Antares. If it weren't for Antares, dragon scale this time, he would have been in danger. The giant axe that the Dragon Emperor took out at the end was very terrifying. "Antares, the Dragon Emperor took out a giant axe at the end." Antares said, "I know, that is a demigod-level weapon. Holding it, the Dragon Emperor can infinitely approach the demigod level, you are not an opponent." Lin Moyu asked strangely, "Demigod-level weapons, aren't those only used by demigods?" His axe is a bit special, and the axe has more than one function. Anyway, be careful in the future, unless you reach the demigod level of combat power yourself, otherwise get as far away as possible from that axe when you see it. Lin Moyu was secretly a little surprised. Even Antares said so, then it must not be fake. The grading of equipment also has the same purpose. Above the legend rank is the myth rank, and above the myth rank is the demigod rank. Demigod-level weapons have only appeared in legends, at least they do not exist in the history of 1.9 human race. Lin Moyu's eyes were thoughtful, does the Demon Emperor also have a demigod-level weapon in his hand? That's right, Antares didn't deny it, telling the truth. Lin Moyu continued to ask, then, what the righteous god said, even if I reach the transcendent god level, I still can't destroy the Abyss Dragon clan. Is it related to this weapon? Antares looked at Lin Moyu and chuckled, did you guess it? Hearing this, Lin Moyu actually had the answer. He told the truth, half and half, I guess, boldly hypothesizing and carefully verifying, you know. Antares smiled, it is indeed related to this weapon. Lin Moyu murmured to himself, it seems that this weapon not only allows them to infinitely approach the transcendent god level, but also allows them to exert power beyond the transcendent god level. And they are not creatures of this world. Could it be that this weapon can also summon other powerful beings? ... You can get out of here. Antares glared at Lin Moyu and roared loudly. Chapter 682. The God of Thought Awakens, the Sakura country is finished. Antares drove Lin Moyu away with anger and depression. He had only said a little bit of information, but Lin Moyu analyzed it again, analyzing a lot. And it was obviously half guesswork, but he guessed almost perfectly. Antares felt that every minute he spent with Lin Moyu was a destruction of his IQ. In the human world, the Great War is in full swing. The place is filled with blood, a large number of humans have died in battle, and many small forces have been completely destroyed. The human race has not experienced such a great war for hundreds of years. In just 2 days, the human race has suffered huge casualties. The battlefield is not only in the meta battlefield, but also in the human world. The Divine Sha Empire opened the Eternal Great Wall, suffering the least casualties. In the meta battlefield, the 9 fortresses of the Divine Sha Empire are connected together, like an impregnable wall, firmly guarding the line of defense. Divine-level powerhouses have come out to fight, engaging in fierce battles with demon kings and dragon kings. The flames of war are extremely intense. As long as this area of the meta battlefield is guarded, the allied forces of demons and dragons will not be able to directly reach the Divine Sha Empire in the human world. The fortresses of those small forces are more tragic. Their defenses are quickly breached, and the fortresses are destroyed. Then the dragon demon allied forces passed through the fortresses and entered the human world. They appeared right outside the gates of these forces, and then there was a great war in the human world. The people suffered and countless died. One by one, small countries were destroyed in the flames of war. The professionals were defeated and fled in all directions. They had no way to ask for help, and now all countries are struggling to protect themselves. The Divine Shah Empire closed its borders, and each city opened its defensive formations, almost covering the entire country. Once the Eternal Great Wall is opened, the Divine Shah Empire does not allow anyone to enter. Even if you are a Divine Shah person, you can't. No one knows whether the person who comes in will be a demon spy, or whether they will be related to the demon worship society. If one is missed, it may cause even greater casualties. At this moment, there is no sentimentality to talk about, and there is no sympathy. The only thing that exists is trade-offs. But even the Eternal Great Wall cannot stop Antares. Antares teleported directly, sending Lin Moyu back to the White God's courtyard. No matter how fierce the war outside, the White God's courtyard is still very quiet, like a paradise. Lin Moyu released Meng Anwen and the other two from the demon extinguishing tower. The three of them had been in the demon extinguishing tower for half a day, and their injuries had improved a lot. "We're back." Bai Yiyuan seemed a little disbelieving, wondering if he was seeing things. Yan Guangsheng said unhappily, "Nonsense. Both of them were fortunate to have survived. Although they were not afraid of death, no one would want to die." Meng Anwen was much calmer than Bai Yiyuan. "Xiao Yu, are you okay?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "I'm fine. Although I can't beat the Dragon Emperor, it's no problem to protect myself." Meng Anwen nodded. He knew Lin Moyu's abilities better than Bai Yiyuan and Yan Guangsheng. Especially since Lin Moyu had Antares behind him, it was indeed not difficult to protect himself. So at that time, he entered the demon extinguishing tower without hesitation, actually not wanting to burden Lin Moyu. Bai Yiyuan looked at the sky. Because of the formation, the sunlight in the sky was deflected. Meng Anwen glanced at it and already knew, the Eternal Great Wall has been activated. It seems that I was right. The Dragon Clan and the demons have really attacked. This time they are doing three things at once, killing three birds with one stone. Yan Guangsheng said coldly, "They don't move unless they have to, and when they do, it's a final blow." The Demon Emperor and Dragon Emperor are indeed quite ruthless. Lin Moyu asked, "Teacher, how is the situation now?" Meng Anwen released the Divine Shah Tower. "Let me see." The Divine Shah Tower rotated non-stop in the air, flying out a large number of runes, which merged into the formation. The Eternal Great Wall, this magnificent formation, not only connects the 9 fortresses of the meta battlefield, but also connects the Divine Shah Empire. Its scale is even larger than the Soul Fusion formation. The Eternal Great Wall is the result of generations of Divine Shah people's efforts. It is the accumulation of hundreds of years before it was slowly arranged. After Meng Anwen became a divine-level formation master, he began to be responsible for the maintenance of the Eternal Great Wall formation. So Meng Anwen knows the formation like the back of his hand. Through the formation sensing, Meng Anwen found that the Eternal Great Wall was intact. The only few small leaks were harmless. Meng Anwen breathed a sigh of relief. The Eternal Great Wall is still there. Everyone also breathed a sigh of relief. As long as the Eternal Great Wall is still there, the Divine Shah Empire can be worry-free. Bai Yiyuan gritted his teeth. "Old Meng, send us to the battlefield, I want to kill people." He had been depressed these past few days. First, he was forcibly trapped, and then he almost killed Lin Moyu. He wanted to vent fiercely. Yan Guangsheng's state was similar to Bai Yiyuan's, and he was also full of anger. Meng Anwen said, "Now the 9th fortress and the 8th fortress are receiving the most intense attacks and the greatest pressure. You two should go there separately. Old Bai, go to the 9th fortress, and Old Huang, go to the 8th fortress." "Wait," Bai Yiyuan called out, "9th fortress? The place of Yi Hao, Wang Lin, and those guys. Can you change the place?" Meng Anwen's face straightened. "No. What time is it now, and you still care about these things? Also, Senior Yi Hao seems to have figured it out, and besides, the demon extinguishing tower is in Xiao Yu's hands. Why are you still so stingy?" Bai Yiyuan glared at Meng Anwen. "You're doing it on purpose, right?" Meng Anwen snorted. "Think what you want. The Divine Shah Tower has already connected to the Eternal Great Wall. A light fell, and Meng Anwen flicked out a law, instantly forming a formation. Regardless of whether Bai Yiyuan agreed or not, he directly sent him to the 9th fortress. Then it was Yan Kuangshang, sent to the 8th fortress. These two places are the two fortresses with the greatest pressure in the meta battlefield, and the battle situation is also the most intense. But now with the addition of Bai Yiyuan and Yan Kuangshang, Meng Anwen knew that there should be no worries. Lin Moyu asked, "Teacher, what about us?" Meng Anwen looked up in one direction. "We are not going to the meta battlefield, we are guarding the country." The divine Sha tower once again sprinkled light, forming a formation in the air, and teleported the two away. The sound of waves rushed towards them, and the two had already arrived at the northeasternmost part of the empire. Meng Anwen took Lin Moyu across the border, left the formation range of the Eternal Great Wall, and continued to fly northeast for 100 miles. At this time, the border of the Divine Sha Empire was already behind the two. The war should not be allowed to burn into the country as much as possible. It is best to keep the enemy out. Meng Anwen obtained a lot of information through the formation of the Eternal Great Wall. Lin Moyu did not need to ask more questions, just follow. Meng Anwen pointed northeast. "Do you know what countries are in that direction?" Lin Mo nodded. "Sakura country, Goryeo country, and a few insignificant island nations." Meng Anwen nodded. "There's a good show coming up." Less than 5 minutes after Meng Anwen finished speaking, a powerful energy fluctuation suddenly came. The energy was extremely strong, carrying the aura of laws. However, these laws were somewhat strange and very rigid. Lin Mo looked up and saw a giant appearing in the sky hundreds of kilometers away. Being able to see it from hundreds of kilometers away shows how large this giant is, estimated to be over several thousand meters, practically touching the sky and the earth. Lin Mo thought of something. "Is that the Sakura country's god of thought?" Meng Anwen smiled and nodded. "That's right, it's him." Lin Mo seemed to understand something. "Sakura country has even used its god of thought, it seems they are on the verge of destruction." That was indeed the case. The god of thought was Sakura country's ultimate trump card, and if even it was used, then Sakura country was pretty much done for. Then, the earth and sky shook violently again. Similarly, hundreds of kilometers away, a high mountain rose from the ground, transforming into a powerful warrior in midair. The Goryeo country's god of thought had also awakened. Chapter 683. Slaying the god of thought, full power unleashed. The fortresses of Sakura country and Goryeo country in the Yuan battlefield failed to hold. The dragon demon allied forces drove straight in, directly attacking their national borders, intending to destroy the countries. In this life or death situation, the two countries used their trump cards and awakened their gods of thought. This was their last resort, which could only be used once, and only in times of life and death. Sakura country's god of thought was level 98, extremely powerful, and could be maintained for 24 hours. However, if the battle was intense enough, the duration would be further shortened. Goryeo country's god of thought was relatively weaker, only level 96, but it could also wield laws. Lin Mo looked at the god of thought. "Are we stationed here to defend against the dragon demon allied forces?" Meng Anwen first nodded, then slowly shook his head. "Not entirely. Besides the dragon demon allied forces, we also have to guard against their gods of thought." Lin Mo was shocked and instantly understood why. "They will drag us down with them." Meng Anwen hummed. "Most likely. If they can't stop the dragon demon allied forces, it's very likely they'll have their gods of thought attack us, tearing through our defenses. You can understand it as dragging us down with them, or as diverting the trouble eastward, using our divine Sha Empire to attract the attention of the dragon demon allied forces." Lin Mo naturally understood this principle. Sakura country and Goryeo country had never had a friendly relationship with the divine Sha Empire. The two sides had many conflicts over the years. If they didn't have mutual fears, they might have already fought. Now that they were about to be destroyed, the divine Sha Empire had taken no action and would not provide any support. In the final moment, in order to save more of their people and give them a chance to escape, they might really divert the trouble eastward. Meng Anwen and Lin Mo were stationed here not only to prevent the dragon demon allied forces, but also to guard against their gods of thought. Sakura country's god of thought roared constantly, the earth and sky trembled, and laws danced. It was very strong, level 98, only slightly weaker than a demigod. Under its attacks, the dragon demon allied forces suffered heavy casualties. Lin Mo said, "Perhaps Sakura country can hold on." The god of thought can be maintained for 24 hours, which means it can do a lot. Meng Anwen didn't think so, it can't hold on. The power of the god of thought comes from the beliefs of its people. When the people are all dead and their beliefs collapse, the god of thought will also collapse. We were previously wary of their gods of thought because we are both human races and couldn't commit acts of national slaughter and extermination. But now they are facing the dragon demon allied forces, what do you think? Lin Mo was surprised and, after carefully considering what Meng Anwen said, realized that was indeed the case. Moreover, Lin Mo also understood why Meng Anwen didn't plan to support Sakura country, and why there wasn't even a stir within the Divine Sha Empire. The reason was that the Divine Sha Empire had been attacked by demons several times, and cities had been slaughtered. At that time, it was in the coastal cities behind them, very close to Sakura country and Goryeo country. They remained silent at the time, not only did they not provide support, but they even mocked them afterward. So now, the Divine Sha Empire was just watching them about to be destroyed. This was a trade-off, it was impossible to sacrifice the people of the Divine Sha Empire for them. Meng Anwen and Lin Mo watched the god of thought fighting frantically. Laws rained down, and a large number of dragon demon allied forces were killed. However, the god of thought was also weakening at an alarming rate. They knew very well that the dragon demon allied forces had begun to slaughter the cities. The death of a large number of citizens would drastically weaken the god of thought. At this rate, the god of thought won't last long, at most half a day, Lin Mo said in a deep voice. Meng Anwen shook his head, not even half a day, a few more hours is about it. We need to prepare, they could come over at any time. Lin Mo hummed, flipped his hand, and the ancient thunder outer tower was already in his hand. If the gods of thought really came over, Lin Mo would let them experience what despair was. Wanting to protect their own people was understandable. But wanting to divert the trouble eastward and use the safety of the Divine Sha people to protect them, Lin Mo said they were thinking too much. The gods of thought were getting weaker and weaker, both in Sakura country and Goryeo country. A large number of their citizens were being slaughtered, and without the support of their beliefs, the gods of thought would cease to exist. Sakura country's god of thought had already fallen from level 98 to level 97, and even level 97 was unstable. Goryeo country's god of thought was even worse, not even stabilizing at level 96, dropping to level 95, losing the power of law. Suddenly, as if they had discussed it, they simultaneously changed direction and began to rush straight towards the Divine Sha Empire. They're coming, Meng Anwen said softly. Lin Mo said, I'll take care of Sakura countries. All right, Meng Anwen didn't decline. The gods of thought flew towards the Divine Sha Empire, followed by the black mass of the dragon demon allied forces, numbering hundreds of thousands, flying over like dark clouds. The two gods of thought were like leading the way for the dragon demon allied forces, their target being the Divine Sha Empire. Lin Mo's eyes were filled with killing intent, the ancient thunder outer tower was connected to the god-slaying fortress, and vast power was being continuously transmitted. Lightning flashed on the ancient thunder outer tower, and the aura of law permeated. The god of thought discovered Meng Anwen and Lin Mo, but it didn't stop. It now wanted to bring the dragon allied forces behind it to the Divine Sha Empire, to let them attack the Divine Sha Empire. At the same time, it was buying time for its own people, time to escape. Just as the god of thought was less than 1,000 meters away from Lin Mo pointed out, God-slaying lightning. The God-slaying lightning infused with law was currently Lin Mo's strongest attack, even detonating a law god star was not as powerful. At full power, the god-slaying lightning's power reached the demigod level, enough to clash head-on with the Dragon Emperor. The god-slaying lightning landed on Sakura country's god of thought, turning into a purple sea of lightning, directly engulfing it. A demigod-level attack was simply not something it could resist. It screamed incessantly in the sea of lightning, its aura rapidly weakening. The dragon demon allied forces that followed closely were also partially swallowed by the sea of lightning, their bodies completely destroyed. Lin Mo's body swayed slightly, a wisp of his divided soul was destroyed, and his face couldn't help but turn pale. The next second, Lin Mo divided another wisp of his soul, and another god-slaying lightning flew out. Amidst the roar, the sea of lightning that hadn't disappeared rapidly expanded, completely engulfing Sakura country's god of thought. Lin Mo's face was even paler, but his eyes were shining. He received a reminder that he had killed a god of thought. Killed the Sakura guardian god, experience +***, general star +1. Sakura country and the Divine Sha Empire were not friendly, even slightly at odds. Killing their god of thought, besides experience, also grants General Star. Previously, Lin Mo needed 13 General Stars to become a 6-star God General. Now that he has obtained 1 General Star, he only needs to kill 12 more God-level beings to be promoted to a 6-star God General. It has been a long time since the human race has produced a 6-star God General. Lin Mo's eyes turned cold, and he stopped using the god-slaying lightning. The Undead Legion emerged in response. The air turned pitch black, the projection of the undead world descended, the gate of the undead appeared, and the eye of the undead opened in the undead flames, taking away a large number of lives. The Headless Knight launched a charge, plunging into the Dragon Demon allied forces, followed closely by the Skeleton Berserkers. The Skeleton Grand Mage's elemental explosions and the Divine Archer's soul assassinations constantly reaped the Dragon Demon allied forces. The Skeleton Throne floated in the air, and the Skeleton King emerged in response, wielding the god-slaying sword. Lin Mo let out a soft shout, cast the power-gathering skill, and simultaneously drew 2 giant swords, also plunging into the battle. At this moment, Lin Mo had gone all out, except for the strong troops skill. Chapter 684. It would be great to fight a few more battles. Lin Mo was glowing all over. When the great battle had just begun, he had leveled up when he used the god-slaying lightning to kill the god of mind of the Sakura country. He was now level 77, and his combat power had increased again. Lin Mo, clad in the power-gathering skill and blessed by the Monarch's scepter, had attributes exceeding 14 million, comparable to a level 94 god-level powerhouse. Lin Mo inherited all the skills of the Undead Legion, including the Skeleton King's skills, perfectly. Moreover, he also possessed his own skills, making him even stronger than the Undead Legion. At this moment, he was the strongest in the entire Legion. Skill: God Slaying. Skill: Elemental Riot. Soul Skill: Corpse Explosion. One skill after another was used, and the Dragon Demon allied forces suffered countless casualties in an instant. Lin Mo was like entering an unpopulated land, with no match for him. Lin Mo was excited by the killing, his face filled with excitement. All around him were enemies, and he didn't need to aim his skills, just bombard them wildly. On the other side, Meng Anwen deployed a formation, trapping and killing the god of mind of the Kimchi country. When he turned back to look at Lin Mo, he was directly stunned. He never imagined that Lin Mo would have such a wild side. Isn't Xiao Yu a mage? Why does he like melee combat? Lin Mo now had none of the appearance of a mage, completely like a berserker. No, even more violent than a berserker. Lin Mo loved this feeling of sword-to-flesh contact, it was extremely stimulating. From a long time ago when he was doing dungeons, he often acted as a meat shield, attracting firepower for the Undead Legion. Moreover, he did not abandon his own professional skills, curses, control, corpse explosions, everything was used. The elemental lich burned his body as he flew, and every undead stepped on a halo. The halos were dazzling, but not powerful enough. From the perspective of strength, they seemed to have fallen behind. Lin Mo knew that this was because the materials for summoning the elemental lich were not good enough. When he used those legendary or even mythical materials to summon the elemental lich in the future, he would definitely be able to make the elemental lich stronger. Just like the flame lich seen in the skill demonstration, it could burn a giant dragon to death. The duration of the power-gathering skill became longer and longer in Lin Mo's constant slaughter, with no end in sight. His soul, which had been slightly damaged due to the use of the soul-splitting technique, was also restored to its original state in the slaughter, and even his soul level had slightly improved. Lin Mo liked this feeling, it fascinated him. The improvement of the soul level was the most difficult, and every improvement was good. After the god level, the improvement of the soul level was also the most critical. If such a great battle could always continue, Lin Mo believed that he would soon step into level 93 and reach the intermediate god level. At that time, both himself and the Skeleton King would become stronger, and their combat power would be greatly improved. If I use the strong troops skill at the same time, will the improvement of the soul level be faster when killing enemies? Lin Mo suddenly had this thought. A powerful aura rose up in front, and even more powerful Dragon Kings and Demon Kings arrived. Lin Mo's eyes lit up. Good, I'll use you for experiments. Soul Skill. Strong Troops. The Strong Troops skill was suddenly activated, and the power of the soul decreased sharply in an instant. Lin Mo underestimated the consumption of using two skills at the same time, which was several times greater than using a single skill. With his level 77 soul power, he could only maintain the two skills for 3 seconds at the same time. He used corpse explosion several times in a row, blasting a large number of demons to death, before extending the skill duration. After using the strong troops skill, the attributes did not increase due to the limitation of the soul level. But the attack power directly increased by 500%. The strong troops skill possessed its own laws, a kind of law that Lin Mo could not understand, directly enhancing damage, and the effect was extremely obvious. This skill, which had brought Lin Mo amazing results countless times, was still powerful until now. Those dragon demon allied forces who were carrying out the act of slaughtering the country in Sakura country and Kimchi country discovered the battle here and rushed over. Leading them were 4 demon kings and dragon kings exceeding level 94. One of them was Lin Mo's old acquaintance, the Black Heaven Demon King. Lin Mo. The Black Heaven Demon King saw Lin Mo at a glance, and his killing intent was boiling. Lin Mo also saw it and said softly, "You came just in time." Just as the god-slaying skill recovered, his soul instantly locked onto the 4 of them, and he swung a sword in his hand. Thousands of meters away, the Black Heaven Demon King suddenly felt danger. Under the light of Lin Mo's sword, he felt death. Not good. The Black Heaven Demon King retreated quickly as if he had seen the most terrifying thing. But it was too late. The sword light burst out, and he was slashed and sent flying back with a scream. His wings were broken, and his legs were cut off at the roots. If it was before the strong troops skill, he could still withstand this sword, at most suffering some injuries. But under the 500% damage increase of the strong troops skill, this sword almost killed him. The Black Heaven Demon King reacted quickly, and he had already burned his entire body with demonic fire when the sword light had just risen. A black magic stone was activated, taking him away in an instant. Another Demon King and 2 Dragon Kings reacted a little slower and were severely injured on the spot. They also wanted to escape, but because of this less than half a second, they no longer had a chance. The eye of the undead stared over with Lin Mo's will, and the soul trembled. Screams came from their mouths, their minds were blank, the elemental riot descended, and at the same time, there was a corpse explosion. The materials for the corpse explosion were actually the Black Heaven Demon King's pair of thighs that had just been cut off. In the roar, Lin Mo once again gained a lot of experience and 3 general stars. This guy, he really escaped quickly. Lin Mo muttered softly. In his eyes, the Black Heaven Demon King was really lucky. He had failed to kill it so many times. The effect of the strong troops skill was too good, and it was like slaughtering a dog to kill an intermediate Demon King. Lin Mo was very satisfied with the effect of the skill, turned around and rushed into the Dragon Demon allied forces, and started the slaughter again. As he had expected, the combined effect of the 2 skills was even more obvious on the improvement of the soul level. He could feel that after the enemy died, a trace of soul power would be drawn over and turned into the power to improve his soul level. The transformation process was extremely profound, seemingly related to some mysterious law. With his current abilities, he still couldn't understand it, but that wasn't important. It was enough to use it, there was no need to understand it. The seemingly powerful Dragon Demon Legion was like a paper tiger in front of Lin Mo's Undead Legion. Especially with the buff from the strong soldier skill, the Undead Legion's combat power had reached its limit, sweeping all the way. After only a dozen minutes of fighting, the Dragon Demon Alliance was completely defeated. The Undead Legion chased after them, but Lin Mo didn't take action again. This battle yielded great rewards, not only leveling up to level 77 and obtaining 4 general stars. After level 77, the experience bar had also risen by more than half. With about 30% more, he could reach level 78. This kind of leveling speed was unprecedented. But for Lin Mo, the greatest gain was the improvement in his soul level. Now his soul had reached the peak of level 92, only 1 step away from level 93. As long as he took another step, he could reach the intermediate god level. If there could be 2 more such battles, that would be great. Unfortunately, the Dragon Demon Alliance in this direction had been defeated and wouldn't be coming back. Lin Mo asked Meng Anwen, "Teacher, do you need me to guard anywhere else?" Meng Anwen smiled wryly, "Haven't you killed enough yet?" Lin Mo said, "Killing demons is the duty of a professional, and now there's an extra dragon race." Meng Anwen said, "Let me see." He communicated with the Eternal Great Wall again. After a moment, his face showed a strange expression. Lin Moi asked, "What's wrong?" "Strange, the abyss demons have retreated," Meng Anwen said with a hint of puzzlement. Chapter 685. Demon Retreat, Zhang Yi revives. Lin Moi was also surprised to hear this. The Dragon-Demon Alliance had come aggressively, so why did they suddenly retreat? Did something happen to them? Lin Moi asked. Meng Anwen said, "It's not that the Dragon-Demon Alliance retreated, it's that the demons retreated." That's even stranger. Could it be that they had internal strife? Lin Moi was even more puzzled and couldn't figure it out. Meng Anwen said, "Don't think about it if you can't figure it out. It's a good thing that they retreated." That was the truth. Once the demons retreated, only the dragon race would be left. The pressure on the human race would be much less, and the casualties would be greatly reduced. In any case, it was indeed a good thing. Lin Moi asked, "The demons have retreated, so what about the dragon race? What's their reaction?" Meng Anwen said, "They have temporarily stopped attacking, but I think they should also retreat. The dragon race should be clear that if they face our human race alone, the final result is very likely to be mutual destruction." Lin Moi said, "The result of mutual destruction is to benefit the abyss demons. It's like the snipe and clam fighting, and the fisherman benefits." That's right, so it's very likely that the dragon race will also retreat. Meng Anwen's judgment was very reasonable, and Lin Moi thought so too. Although there were no surprises, this was most likely how things would develop. This was also the best result at present. Although the human race had suffered huge losses, the Dragon-Demon Alliance had also suffered heavy losses. There were no winners in this sudden battle. Meng Anwen continued, "I think the demons' sudden retreat should be related to you. They didn't succeed in ambushing you and me, so it's meaningless to continue this battle." Lin Moi knew that he was the person the Dragon Emperor wanted to kill the most. This ambush was mainly aimed at him, and secondly at Meng Anwen and others. If he and Meng Anwen and others were killed, the Dragon-Demon Alliance would drive straight in and pose a very great threat to the human race. Not to mention destroying the human race, it was very likely to make the human race slump. But the result was that they all failed, and none of them were killed. The battle had lost its meaning. Meng Anwen connected to the Eternal Great Wall formation and could see the scene in the meta battlefield. At this time, the demon army retreated like a tide, and the dragon race army also stopped attacking. The human race army also retreated, returning to the fortress without pursuing. It seemed that the war was about to end like this, when Meng Anwen suddenly saw a sword light flying rapidly. Meng Anwen gave a light exclamation, "Why is he here?" Lin Moi's eyes turned, "As Justice got here?" Meng Anwen nodded, "It seems he has recovered." Meng Anwen didn't find it strange that Lin Moi could guess Zhang Yi. At Meng Anwen's height, there weren't many things that could surprise him, and there were very few people who could surprise him. Zhang Yi was one of them. Zhang Yi was a figure from more than 600 years ago. He was very strong, and he had reached level 98 before his fall. Moreover, he had already touched the level of half-step transcendent god. But the time was too long, and Meng Anwen would lack a little respect for him. As for Lin Moi, there was respect, but not awe. In their hearts, as half-step transcendent gods, Di Huang's sense of existence was far stronger than Zhang Yi's. This subtle psychological change could only be understood by the person involved. Lin Moi was a little puzzled, what is he doing here now? Meng Anwen also expressed his incomprehension. Why didn't Zhang Yi appear sooner or later, but now? Did he just find out about the news now, or did he just recover now? The opening of the Eternal Great Wall was so loud, it was impossible for Zhang Yi not to know. He could sense the Demon Emperor's attack from afar last time, let alone this time. Meng Anwen speculated, perhaps he just recovered. In Meng Anwen's sight, Zhang Yi stepped on his sword from afar and charged into the dragon race army alone. He was as high as level 98, and had already stepped into the threshold of half-step transcendent god. As the laws were wielded, countless dragon race war generals fell, and the two dragon kings in the army were the same, unable to last even 3 to 5 seconds. Zhang Yi was in a no-man's land, his sword light crisscrossing, killing in all directions. The dragon race army was killed to the point of collapse by Zhang Yi alone, and fled in all directions. The demons had retreated earlier and were far away, not meeting Zhang Yi. After defeating the dragon race army, Zhang Yi wrapped his sword light and once again killed towards the depths of the meta battlefield, disappearing into the darkness. It could be predicted that no matter who was touched by Zhang Yi in the depths of the meta battlefield, whether it was the dragon race or the demons, their fate would be extremely miserable. Meng Anwen sighed, he seems to be venting. Earlier, Zhang Yi killed very fiercely, quickly and ruthlessly, the laws were recklessly poured out, carrying deep hatred and thick baleful aura. Meng Anwen could feel this emotion from his sword light. Imagine that he was almost killed and had to be alone for hundreds of years before he could be reborn. How could he not have hatred? Meng Anwen could understand very well. But Lin Moi frowned after hearing this. Teacher, you said he was venting. Meng Anwen nodded, his sword light and laws carried hatred, deep hatred. All the enemies who died under his sword were chopped into pieces. Meng Anwen's words made Lin Moi even more puzzled. Meng Anwen thought for a few seconds and then added, now it seems, it is indeed a bit strange. Some people have clearly been killed, but he will still add 2 swords to the corpse to shatter it. Zero seeking fresh flowers. Lin Moi said, I feel something is wrong. I had contact with Justice God in the secret realm. The feeling he gave me was very gentle, like an old man who had seen through everything and understood everything. There was no baleful aura, no hatred, only open-mindedness. Meng Anwen pondered for a few seconds and then slowly opened his mouth. You said, could it be that his hatred for the demons completely broke out after his resurrection? Or is it his hatred for the human race? Lin Moi shook his head, it shouldn't be like this. Even if he has hatred for the demons, it shouldn't be to this point. What's more, what he killed just now were not demons, but the dragon race. What Lin Moi said was very reasonable, the higher the level of the soul, the more stable the emotions would be. Even if there is hatred, generally speaking, it shouldn't reach this point. Even if the Dragon Emperor hated Lin Moyu to the core, he still maintained his composure. Moreover, in the era when Zhang Yi lived, the interaction between the Dragon clan and the human clan was limited to the ancient battlefield. At that time, the biggest enemy of the human clan was still the demons, and Zhang Yi almost truly perished because of the demons. If there was to be hatred, it would be for the demons. The demons had just retreated, and if Zhang Yi wanted to chase, he could have caught up completely. But the result wasn't like that. Zhang Yi gave the feeling that he would directly kill any enemy he saw, regardless of who the enemy was. Reason seemed somewhat weak. Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu couldn't figure it out. Lin Moyu thought for a while and took out Antares' dragon scale. The matter concerned a demigod of the human clan. After Emperor Di left, Zhang Yi was the strongest among the human clan, and his affairs had to be taken seriously. Lin Moyu shamelessly went to bother Antares again. Fortunately, Antares wasn't sleeping this time, but he couldn't avoid being mocked a few times. Lin Moyu's skin had become thick to a certain level, especially when facing Antares, comparable to a super god. Soon, he got some answers from Antares. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu. What did the adult say? Lin Moyu put away the dragon scale. It said that Zhang Yi had some problems during the resurrection process. The specific problem should be with the demon-slaying sword in Zhang Yi's hand. Meng Anwen searched his memory and said in a deep voice, the demon-slaying sword was very famous back then. According to records, the human clan paid a considerable price to forge the demon-slaying sword. Moreover, the demon-slaying sword was also the trigger for the Great War back then. Zhang Yi's fall was also related to the demon-slaying sword. There may be detailed information in the royal family, let's check it out. Chapter 686. Must find a way to survive. The Abyss demons suddenly withdrew their troops, and the Dragon clan was immediately put at a disadvantage. Although the human clan did not counterattack and pursue, the Dragon clan was also weak in attack and could only retreat helplessly. The addition of Zhang Yi was even worse, giving the Dragon clan a head-on blow. Outside the Abyss Demon Emperor's palace, the Dragon Emperor arrived, roaring at the palace with anger. Demon Emperor, what do you mean? Why are you withdrawing your troops? The Dragon Emperor's voice was full of anger, causing the Abyss fire to tremble continuously. The Demon Emperor did not show up. Its voice came from the palace. Our plan failed. What else can we do if we don't withdraw our troops? The Dragon Emperor said angrily, even if we failed to ambush Lin Moyu, as long as we join hands, we can at least drive the human clan out of the meta battlefield. Are you out of your mind? Zhang Yi is back, don't you know? The Demon Emperor sneered disdainfully. The Dragon Emperor was slightly stunned, and finally remembered Zhang Yi in his memory. He rose more than 700 years ago and was once the leader of the human clan. 513. He was besieged by dozens of demon kings more than 600 years ago and eventually fell. At that time, the Dragon Clan was isolated from the meta battlefield. The Dragon Emperor had only heard of Zhang Yi's name, and was not very clear about the specifics. Zhang Yi, isn't he already dead? The Dragon Emperor said. The Demon Emperor responded, dead, not completely dead. Died for more than 600 years, and then resurrected. That's impossible, the Dragon Emperor exclaimed. Even it had never heard of anyone who could be resurrected after being dead for more than 600 years. The Demon Emperor said, although I don't know how Zhang Yi was resurrected, it must be related to it. If you want to know, you can ask, anyway, it's right there, not hard to find. The Dragon Emperor shuddered. What a joke, ask Antares, how many lives do I have? If I stay obediently in the Dragon Realm, Antares won't be bored enough to kill me. After all, several parties have an agreement. But if I can't think straight and go to the upper space, go to it, I will probably be sprayed to death by a dragon breath. The Demon Emperor continued, no matter what the reason, Zhang Yi has now been resurrected. He is level 98 peak, demigod. Although he is a little weaker than you and me, the difference is not too much. With him, attacking the human clan is meaningless. Indeed, as the Demon Emperor said, with a demigod sitting in the human clan, and with Antares, they can forget about destroying the human clan, and they cannot even drive the human clan out of the meta battlefield. What's more, there is Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu is too weird. The Dragon Emperor also understood that the general trend was gone, and there was really no need to continue the attack. Retreating was the only option. It gritted its teeth. I thought that the human clan had lost Emperor D, and we could drive them out of the meta battlefield, and suppress the human clan well, and completely cripple them. I didn't expect it to be like this. After speaking, the Dragon Emperor left angrily and left the abyss directly. The abyss fire burned more vigorously, and the Demon Emperor lay on the throne, with extremely complicated eyes. Idiot, doesn't even understand his own identity, and still wants to cripple the human clan. We are pawns, understand? Since we are pawns, then do our part as pawns. Act when you should act, lie down when you should lie down, surrender when you should surrender, living is more important than anything else. I can't wait any longer, I must find a way to survive. But the hatred with the human clan cannot be eliminated at all, what a headache. The abyss fire became more and more fierce, until it surrounded and enveloped the entire Demon Emperor's palace, and the Demon Emperor's voice completely disappeared. In the palace, Meng Anwen directly stated his intentions. Dongfang Yi did not hesitate and directly brought all the information about Zhang Yi and the demon-slaying sword. The royal family can be regarded as the longest-standing family in the Divine Xia Empire, and all the information since the founding of the country has been preserved. Meng Anwen and Lin Moyu carefully read the information, and there were detailed records of Zhang Yi's life. There was a lot of information that was not available to the outside world, especially about the origin of the demon-slaying sword. The demon-slaying sword came from a piece of extraterrestrial metal, which Zhang Yi accidentally obtained. According to the information fed back by the detection technique, this was a top-notch mythical material, named demon gold. In Zhang Yi's era, there were no god-level blacksmiths. But mythical materials could not be wasted. So several top blacksmiths joined forces, and they came up with a method. Collect the power of the Demon King's blood essence to melt the demon gold. At that time, the war between the Abyss demons and the human clan continued, and it was not difficult to obtain the Demon King's blood essence. In several battles, Zhang Yi brazenly took action and collected the blood essence of 5 demon kings. Using these blood essence, the blacksmiths finally melted the demon gold and forged it into the demon-slaying sword. Unfortunately, it was not from a god-level blacksmith. Using mythical materials, the final demon-slaying sword was only a top-level legendary weapon. The demon-slaying sword also naturally became Zhang Yi's weapon. Holding the demon-slaying sword, Zhang Yi's combat power greatly increased, traversing the battlefield. Until he was targeted by the demons, and finally died in a great battle. But no one knew that Zhang Yi was not completely dead, and after more than 600 years, with the help of Lin Moyu, he was resurrected by relying on the power of Antares. 0. But after the resurrection, there seemed to be a problem, and the problem was with the demon-slaying sword. Lin Moyu knew that what Antares said would definitely not be wrong. There is no specific information about the demon gold in the data. Lin Moyu said softly. The information only stated that the mythical material was called demon gold and came from outside the sky. But the specific attributes of the demon gold were not known. Meng Anwen said, could the adult possibly know? Lin Moyu shook his head, it doesn't know. Mythical materials are nothing in Antares' eyes. Lin Moyu pondered slightly. According to the records in the data, among the 5 top blacksmiths who participated in the production of the demon-slaying sword, this one named Dongfang Jin is from the royal family. Dongfang Yi also checked the information according to what Lin Moyu said and immediately found the corresponding information. That's right, it does come from our royal family. Can you find all his information, as well as his handwritten notes and diaries? The royal family has always had the habit of preserving information, keeping all kinds of information, whether useful or not. This habit is very good, and it can be found when needed. Dongfang Yi naturally wouldn't refuse such a small request. Moreover, this information is not valuable, it's just that it's been around for a long time and it takes time to find it. The royal family has no shortage of people, and results were available in just half an hour. All the information about Dongfang Jin was brought over. Dongfang Jin inherited the excellent traditions of the royal family, and he actually recorded most of his life's work. He was in level 88 top blacksmith, and his biggest regret in life was that he failed to become a god-level blacksmith. And his greatest achievement in this life was forging the demon execution sword. In his diary, Lin Moyu actually found information about demon gold. Teacher, look at this paragraph. Lin Moyu handed the information to Meng Anwen. Meng Anwen's expression changed after reading it. It would actually be like this. Dongfang Yi saw something was wrong. Godden, General Lin, is there a problem? Meng Anwen glanced over. Dongfang Yi understood, and immediately dismissed all irrelevant people. Meng Anwen pointed his finger and set up a simple soundproof formation. Meng Anwen said, according to the records, the main material of the demon execution sword, the mythic material demon gold, has the ability to bewitch the mind, causing people to become manic and even bloodthirsty. There were once low-level professionals who were affected by demon gold and killed people. Even top professionals need to be careful. Chapter 687. Is the return of the righteous god a blessing or a curse? Lin Moyu, Meng Anwen, and Dongfang Yi analyzed the information one by one, peeling back the layers to finally get the answer. Extraterrestrial object, mythical material, demon gold is not a very good thing. Bewitching the mind, causing people to become violent and bloodthirsty. The demon execution sword is made of demon gold, and while bringing powerful power, it also brings strong negative effects. Meng Anwen said, combining the previous situation, we can definitely say that righteous god was indeed affected by demon gold. Lin Moyu said, according to the records in the notes, Senior Dongfang Jin was able to resist demon gold, so righteous god must be able to as well. But righteous god is now affected, there should be a problem in the process of resurrection. If it's just an influence, that's fine. I believe that with righteous god's soul level, he will definitely be able to set things right. What I'm afraid of is, Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, what I'm afraid of is that righteous god is no longer righteous god. Lin Moyu looked serious and nodded silently. What he was afraid of was that righteous god had been affected at a deeper level, and was no longer himself. Lin Moyu didn't say it explicitly, but everyone understood. Meng Anwen said, anyway, just be careful, I'll inform Lao Bai and the others to pay attention. Lin Moyu nodded, I really don't know if the return of righteous god is a blessing or a curse. I hope we are overthinking things. Righteous god has already returned, and it is impossible to stop him. After all, he is the only demigod in the human race. With him, the human race has confidence. Lin Moyu and Meng Anwen left the palace and went to the meta battlefield. Lin Moyu stood in the air, looking at the eternal Great Wall. This is the result of the efforts of more than a dozen generations of human sages over hundreds of years. The eternal Great Wall was already under construction as early as the righteous god era. It was not truly completed until 100 years after the fall of the righteous god. The eternal Great Wall is still running continuously, and the 9 fortresses are connected as one, forming a barrier to prevent demons. Because of the existence of the eternal Great Wall, the human race has been relatively safe for hundreds of years. Demons can only come over through some special methods and carry out some city-slaughtering acts. But it is impossible to launch a large-scale attack. A great war like this has not happened for hundreds of years. Half a day later, the news from the front line was transmitted back. The demons and dragons have all retreated, and the meta battlefield has completely returned to peace. The eternal Great Wall slowly stopped operating in the roar, and the formations in the empire began to stop. The end of the war is the statistics of casualties. This will be a sad process. The war in just a few days has already caused many people to fall. They are heroes, they are martyrs, and each one will be recorded. The Divine Summer Empire never treats any soldier or professional who died in battle unfairly. Their families will receive the best care and will not lack anything. Lin Moyu stood in the void outside Fortress Number 9, watching the soldiers cleaning up the battlefield outside the fortress, and sighed in his heart. War is too cruel for most people. Lin Moyu clenched his fists. This is the world of the human race, whether it is the abyss or the dragon race, you should not come here. When he was in school, Lin Moyu had his own ideas. As long as he had enough power, he would definitely kill into the abyss and destroy the demon race. Now, he has to add another dragon race. The sword light flew from far to near, flying quickly. In the blink of an eye, the sword light had stopped above the fortress. Zhang Yi came on the demon execution sword. He flew from outside the fortress and did not look at the soldiers cleaning up the battlefield outside the fortress. He flew past not far from Lin Moyu, without even looking at Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat, realizing that Zhang Yi's strangeness seemed to exceed his expectations. It's not just being affected so simply. Otherwise, how could he not recognize himself? He had been alone with him in the secret realm for hundreds of years, and the only person who had communicated with him was himself. If he doesn't even recognize himself, then the problem is big. Zhang Yi was about to enter the fortress, but the fortress's formation suddenly flickered and blocked him. Although he is a human, he is not recognized by the fortress. Lin Moyu watched Zhang Ju being blocked and did not speak. Zhang Yi did not force his way in and said, I am Zhang Yi, open the formation. Zhang Yi's voice was transmitted through the formation. This sound made Lin Moyu feel strange again. Zhang Yi's voice was a little low and slightly hoarse. The voice has changed. In Zhang Yi's secret realm, Lin Moyu had a direct conversation with Zhang Yi's soul. He was quite sure that the voice he heard at that time was Zhang Yi's own voice. Even if Zhang Yi was only in a soul state at the beginning, he would definitely retain his own voice when he transformed into a human form. Now the voice has changed. Another point that caught Lin Moyu's attention was that Zhang Yi didn't have any bloody smell on him. He went to hunt down the dragon and demon armies, and only returned after half a day. He must have gone through battles. With his strength, the number of dragons and demons who died under his hands must be a lot. How could there be no bloody smell at all? Not only is there no bloody smell, but even the killing intent is completely restrained. This is normal in peacetime, but it becomes unusual just after the war. The soldiers outside the fortress who are still cleaning up the battlefield are carrying a bloody smell and killing intent. And what is Zhang Yi doing here? Why is he coming to Fortress No. 9? Someone ascended into the sky from the fortress. It was Wang Lin. Normally, Wang Lin handles the affairs of Fortress Number 9. Only when he can't handle it, Yi Hao will step in. Zhang Yi. Wang Lin's tone was a bit strange as he sized Zhang Yi up and down. Zhang Yi was also sizing him up. Level 92, low-level god rank. One could hear a hint of disdain in his tone. Wang Lin couldn't see Zhang Yi's level, but he could feel the other's power. Standing in front of him, he felt a strong sense of oppression. He knew that this was caused by the great difference in strength between the two sides. The other party is so strong, and is called Zhang Yi. Wang Lin suddenly thought of something. You are God Yi. Zhang Yi said, it's me, open the formation, I want to go in. Wang Lin exclaimed, you really are God Yi? Didn't you fall more than 600 years ago? Zhang Yi snorted coldly, I didn't die, I just slumbered, now I'm resurrected. Open the formation, I want to go in. Lin Moyu listened from the side. 663 silently said, third time, and more urgent than the previous time, what is he trying to do? Lin Moyu was already certain that Zhang Yi must have a purpose in coming here, but he didn't know what the purpose was. Fortress Number 9 is the end point of the Eternal Great Wall formation, and also the strongest point. It is close to the entrance of the abyss, and every time there is a battle, this place is the most intense. Apart from that, Fortress Number 9 is no different from the other fortresses. Lin Moyu thought of the Demon Extinguishing Tower. If there was any difference, the Demon Extinguishing Tower was the only difference. But then he denied it. The Demon Extinguishing Tower and Zhang Yi are not products of the same era. In Zhang Yi's era, there was no Demon Extinguishing Tower. Then what is he here for? Lin Moyu didn't speak from the side, he also wanted to see where Zhang Yi's purpose lay. Wang Lin was quite cautious and did not directly open the formation. Instead, he sent out a message. Soon someone else flew over from the fortress, Yi Hao and others came, and Bai Yi Yuan was also among them. This time Bai Yi Yuan came to Fortress number 9 to support and sit, the war had just ended, and he had not left yet. In fact, when Bai Yi Yuan came, the war was already coming to an end, and he didn't even make a move. Looking at his appearance, it seems that his relationship with Yi Hao has eased. Just now Lin Moyu brought news about Zhang Yi, and only told Bai Yi Yuan, not even Yi Hao. The moment Yi Hao saw Zhang Yi, his body trembled violently. "You are God Yi." Zhang Yi frowned and looked at Yi Hao. "You are." Yi Hao saluted Zhang Yi, "Junior Yi Hao, greetings God Yi." Chapter 688. 100 Secrets, One Slip, a Leak is a Mistake. Zhang Yi looked at Yi Hao. "Your surname is Yi." Yi Hao nodded. "Ancestor Yi Bo Ran." Zhang Yi said, "I didn't expect you to be a descendant of Bo Ran." Yi Hao said, "Thanks to God Yi for saving the ancestor back then. The ancestor later founded the Yi family in Shancheng, which has been passed down to this day." Zhang Yi didn't say much about the Yi family, but opened his mouth for the 4th time, opened the formation. This time he seemed to try to maintain his composure, but Lin Moyu felt that Zhang Yi was even more anxious than before. He paid attention to Zhang Yi from the side, he found that Zhang Yi's eyes were not interested in Yi Bo Ran, and he was just perfunctory. It can't be said that he was not interested at all, but there was a trace of disgust. Yi Hao was a little excited at this time, and did not notice the abnormality of God Yi. Lin Moyu secretly sent a message to Bai Yi Yuan, telling him to be careful and stay away. Yi Hao immediately ordered to open the formation and let Zhang Yi in. Wang Lin would naturally not violate Yi Hao's order. A passage was revealed in the formation for Zhang Yi to pass through. Zhang Yi entered the formation, did not stop, but flew towards the center of the fortress. It looks like he has a strong sense of purpose. Yi Hao followed Zhang Yi. "Senior God Yi, the ancestor Bo Ran once left ancestral instructions, saying that you did not fall, and it is very likely that you will be resurrected and return in the future." "Is that so?" Zhang Yi smiled noncommittally, with a strange look in his eyes. Yi Hao said, "The ancestor said so." "What else did he say?" "The ancestor said that you are unparalleled in talent. If you are resurrected, you will be the strongest person in the human race. If anyone can surpass God, it must be you." Yi Hao's tone was slightly excited. Obviously Zhang Yi's return and the ancestor's words came true had a great impact on him. Zhang Yi showed a smile. "Bo Ran really knows me, it's a pity." "What a pity." Yi Hao didn't know it yet, but Wang Lin felt something was wrong at this time. Wang Lin frowned, his eyes fixed on Zhang Yi, and his fists were clenched unconsciously. Zhang Yi's eyes inadvertently swept over Wang Lin, then shook his head, revealing a trace of disdain. At this time, several people had arrived at the center of the fortress, a spacious square. This was originally the place where the demon extinguishing tower was placed. After the demon extinguishing tower was taken away by Lin Moyu, it was left empty. Lin Moyu followed from afar, he didn't know why Zhang Yi came here. Zhang Yi stopped and swept his eyes across the square. "It's cleaned up quite cleanly." Yi Hao said, "Originally there was a tower here, now the tower was." "Be careful." Before he could finish his words, Wang Lin suddenly let out a violent roar. Then the sword light flashed, Yi Hao was pushed away, screams sounded, and blood soared into the sky. Wang Lin pushed Yi Hao away, his arms were swept by the sword light, and they were broken neatly. Before Yi Hao could react, the sword light lit up again. At the same time, a huge aura rushed from behind, colliding with the sword light. The violent impact shook Yi Hao away. Bai Yi Yuan blocked the fatal blow for Yi Hao, but at the same time he was also shaken away. With a bang, blood rained down from the sky. Bai Yi Yuan saved Yi Hao, but failed to save Wang Lin. Wang Lin first pushed Yi Hao away, and his hands were broken. Then the second sword directly killed him. No one thought that Zhang Yi would suddenly riot, and he would attack his own people. If Lin Moyu hadn't told Bai Yi Yuan to be careful, Bai Yi Yuan wouldn't have thought of it. Wang Lin. Yi Hao finally reacted and let out an exclamation. Bai Yi Yuan stared at Zhang Yi and shouted angrily, "Zhang Yi, what are you trying to do?" Bai Yi Yuan didn't have much friendship with Wang Lin, but Wang Lin was also a god-level powerhouse in the human race. Watching him being killed, and the one who did it was also a human race, Bai Yi Yuan was also very aggrieved. Yi Hao had a very deep relationship with Wang Lin. Wang Lin had always regarded Yi Hao as his elder. Yi Hao had no children in his life, and also regarded Wang Lin as half a son. Seeing Wang Lin die on the spot, his eyes were sad and tears were streaming down his face, and he shouted at Zhang Yi, "Why?" Zhang Yi's face was gloomy at this time, and he sneered, "I didn't expect this guy to be quite loyal, he was willing to die for you." "Why? There is no why, I just want the blood of God level, originally you were quite suitable, now it's okay." Zhang Yi was expressionless, stretched out his hand, and a large amount of blood flew out, like raindrops falling down. The blood was black and red, the black was the blood of the devil, and the red was the blood of the dragon. The blood exuded a powerful aura, without exception, they were all the blood of the Demon King Dragon King. Collected a large amount of God-level blood, no one knows what Zhang Yi is going to do. His attack was too fast, even Lin Moyu couldn't react in time. No one expected him to attack his own kind. If Wang Lin hadn't reacted quickly enough, Yi Hao would have been dead by now. Zhang Yi, at level 98, had already reached the threshold of quasi-deity. With his control over the laws, killing Yi Hao wouldn't be difficult. Yi Hao coldly said, "You are not the righteous god. Who exactly are you?" Zhang Yi splashed all the blood onto the ground, chuckling, "I am Zhang Yi, the righteous god your ancestors spoke of." Yi Hao roared, "Impossible. The righteous god in our ancestors' stories would sacrifice everything for the sake of humanity. He would never attack his own people." Tisk, tisk, tisk. Zhang Yi cackled, his entire demeanor changing, emitting a chilling aura. "You all just don't understand this deity. Not only do you not understand this deity, but your ancestors didn't either. Of course, this deity doesn't really understand you either. Back then, during the Great War, if it wasn't for that coward Yi Boran running away, this deity wouldn't have died in battle. Did you really think this deity would fight to the death for humanity? This deity had no choice. You don't understand, you simply don't understand." Zhang Yi's expression became increasingly sinister, his laughter echoing wildly. Lin Moyu suddenly realized he had overlooked something. The information said that Zhang Yi had accidentally obtained celestial demon gold. But it didn't say when he obtained it. Demon gold had the characteristic of bewitching the mind, and only top-tier professionals could resist it. If Zhang Yi obtained the demon gold before his third-class advancement, wouldn't that mean that Zhang Yi had been abnormal since then? Zhang Yi gave the impression of being a quasi-deity, causing people to subconsciously overlook the time he obtained the demon gold. Wrong, completely wrong. This guy is acting. From the moment I entered the secret realm, from the moment he used his soul to contact me, he has been acting. I was too weak back then and didn't notice anything unusual. Antares must have known, but it didn't say anything. Combining what Zhang Yi was saying now, Lin Moyu suddenly understood everything. Zhang Yi was never a righteous god who sacrificed himself for the greater good of the nation. He had his own purpose, and what that purpose was would soon be revealed. The blood that was spilled on the ground was quickly absorbed. Then, a bloody array emerged. The space around Lin Moyu twisted. Meng Anwen, along with the Divine Sha Pagoda, appeared next to Lin Moyu, along with Yan Kuangshang. Lin Moyu had just sent them a message, and they immediately rushed over. Meng Anwen's expression changed slightly when he saw the array. "This is a blood array?" Lin Moyu asked, "What is a blood array?" Meng Anwen said, "A very evil array that absorbs the blood of the strong, converting its energy to allow people to level up quickly." Lin Moyu knew that there were always consequences. While leveling up quickly, one would inevitably pay a price. Meng Anwen continued, "As long as there is enough blood from the strong, leveling up is very fast, even allowing for 3-class advancements in one night. But the aftereffects are also very serious. Some people who use the blood array either go mad or explode and die. Even those who succeed are forever unable to advance, their foundations destroyed." Blood arrays appeared a long time ago, and there were records of them, but they later disappeared. How could there be a blood array here? Zhang Yi suddenly turned his head to look at Meng Anwen. "You're a very good divine level array master, and you've reached level 96. I didn't waste my power saving you last time." As soon as he finished speaking, the array erupted, its bloody color soaring into the sky. Chapter 689. Zhang Yi never existed, never did. The bloody light curtain soared into the sky, breaking through the original array of Fortress No. 9, heading straight into the sky, dyeing the dim sky of the Yuan battlefield blood red. A bloody stench rose sharply, making people nauseous. Meng Anwen's expression changed drastically. There's more than one array. In his perception, as the blood array of Fortress Number 9 was activated, the blood arrays in Fortress No. 8, Fortress No. 7. Every fortress had a blood array being activated. Fortress Number 9 was not the only blood array, but only the source of the blood arrays. There were blood arrays in each fortress, yet he, a divine level array master, hadn't noticed it for so many years. This could only mean one thing. The level of the person who set up the array was far higher than his. Zhang Yi stood in the blood array, licking his lips, revealing an expression of enjoyment. How is it? Are you shocked? The only reason you didn't discover the existence of the blood arrays is because your level is too low. But your surprise is still too early, there are even more shocking things to come. Zhang Yi stomped his foot fiercely, and a rumbling sound rang out as the world shook violently. Outside the fortress, pillars of blood-colored light soared into the sky, and arrays emerged from the earth of the Yuan battlefield. Blood arrays. There were blood arrays everywhere. As far as the eye could see, the entire Yuan battlefield was dyed blood red. Meng Anwen's expression was very ugly. He communicated with the arrays in the fortress and saw everything most clearly. There were blood arrays inside and outside the fortress, and a large number of blood arrays enveloped a large area. Countless blood arrays were connected together, containing unimaginable powerful energy. These 350 energies were the accumulation of the Yuan battlefield. Countless powerhouses and monsters died here, and part of their blood was silently swallowed and accumulated by the blood arrays, until it erupted at this moment. Zhang Yi laughed even more madly, unscrupulously. Did you see it? Did you see it? A full 999 blood arrays, and you couldn't discover them for so many years. Too weak, too weak. You humans are truly incompetent. Meng Anwen coldly said, Zhang Yi, what exactly are you trying to do? Zhang Yi didn't answer Meng Anwen, but said to himself, this deity should have achieved quasi-deity 600 years ago. It's all the fault of those idiots in the abyss, and a few cowardly humans. This deity was besieged back then. If they hadn't fled without permission, this deity would have collected enough blood long ago. It's your fault, it's all your fault. Fortunately, this deity is immortal and left a backup plan, so I can return as a king today. After today, this deity will become a quasi-deity and become the leader of this human race. Meng Anwen said in a deep voice, you may not succeed in advancing by relying on the power of the blood array. Short-sighted, what do you know? Zhang Yi shouted, you don't understand the blood array at all. The blood array was never meant to serve you. This deity is its creator, and only this deity can control the blood array. Meng Anwen was shocked again. Zhang Yi's words revealed another piece of information. Meng Anwen continued, the blood array first appeared 800 years ago, when Zhang Yi wasn't even born yet. Who exactly are you? Zhang Yi laughed and said, who this deity is, I will naturally tell you when you become one with this deity and become this deity's clone. A level 96 array master, although not very good, is good enough. Once you become this deity's clone, this deity will naturally have a way to help you reach the quasi-deity level. Lin Moyu sensed something was wrong. Zhang Yi was talking too much and said in a low voice, teacher, he's stalling for time. Meng Anwen also reacted and shouted, attack. Yan Guangsheng and Bai Yiyuan attacked almost simultaneously. Yan Guangsheng raised his long saber, and a black killing aura swept down, wrapped in the law of killing. Bai Yiwu's pair of iron fists also descended from the sky. Meng Anwen pointed his finger, and the divine Sha Pagoda sprinkled its brilliance, waving his hand to form an array, and 10,000 soldiers flew towards Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi disdained the attacks of the three and was too lazy to move. He stood in the center of the blood array, surrounded by pillars of blood-colored light, like a suit of defensive armor. The attacks of the three landed on the pillars of blood-colored light, like a clay ox entering the sea, without any effect. Zhang Yi said coldly, it's useless. With your little attack power, you can't even break the blood array, let alone deal with me. You should just obediently wait for me to reach the transcendent level, and then I'll deal with you one by one. At this time, Zhang Yi looked at Lin Moyu beside Meng Anwen, little guy, I remember you. It seems you helped me bring the Dragon Ball to Antares. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I think it would have taken me a long time to revive. Antares is indeed powerful, but unfortunately, he only makes deals and doesn't care about things here. You can only rely on yourselves. Meng Anwen and the other two attacked repeatedly, but it didn't work at all. The blood array was like a tortoise shell, and they really couldn't break it. Lin Moyu's eyes showed thought as he analyzed every word Zhang Yi said, looking for the key points. The blood array first appeared 800 years ago, when there was no Zhang Yi. This shows that the blood array has nothing to do with Zhang Yi. But the Zhang Yi in front of him said he was the creator of the blood array. Lin Moyu thought of magic gold. He always called himself the true self, but this true self didn't refer to Zhang Yi, but to magic gold. Zhang Yi wasn't bewitched by magic gold, but was possessed by magic gold. Lin Moyu suddenly had this thought, and he felt his guess was correct. When Zhang Yi obtained magic gold, he was no longer Zhang Yi, but magic gold. It's even possible that magic gold sought out Zhang Yi. How could there be so many unexpected gains in the world? Magic gold comes from beyond the sky, this should be true. The detection skill won't deceive people, and this can't be hidden. There may be a strong soul hiding in the magic gold, coming here. It's also possible that magic gold is a unique race. Antares said that the outside world is full of wonders, and nothing should be surprising. Lin Moyu's thinking was suddenly opened up, guessing all sorts of possibilities. Finally, he got the answer. The blood array is evil and has strong aftereffects, and these aftereffects affect the soul. But for the Zhang Yi in front of him, the blood array is not harmful to him. In that era, there were constant wars, making it easier to collect the blood of the strong than it is now. It was precisely because he wanted to collect the blood of Demon King level experts that Zhang Yi rushed to the front lines in every war. He wasn't unafraid of sacrifice for the sake of the human race. He was purely doing it for himself. He even secretly buried blood arrays in the meta battlefield and in the fortresses. All for the sake of soaring into the sky and reaching the transcendent level. But in the end, he wasted hundreds of years due to a failure. He said he was immortal, but Lin Moyu didn't believe that there really was immortality in the world. Just like the array in front of him, there is no such thing as an unbreakable array. It's just that he hasn't found the right method. If the method is difficult to find, then just use brute force to destroy it. Wanting to reach the transcendent level, it's not that easy. At this time, the 999 blood arrays were connected as one, like the eternal Great Wall being activated, with terrifying defensive power. Then cut off their connection. Lin Moyu said, "Teacher, activate the eternal Great Wall." Meng Anwen's eyes lit up, and without hesitation, he directly controlled the array to activate the eternal Great Wall. For nearly a decade, he had been responsible for maintaining the eternal Great Wall array, and Meng Anwen had the strongest control over the eternal Great Wall. The eternal Great Wall, which had just been closed, was reopened, and a powerful defensive barrier rose. But the array was obstructed, blocked by the blood-colored light pillars, and could not be fully activated. Meng Anwen did his best to control the array, but it was still to no avail. Zhang Yi laughed loudly, "It's useless. With your little array skills, you can't fight me at all." The blood array continued to operate, and the blood accumulated over hundreds of years was converted into majestic energy, continuously pouring into Zhang Yi's body. Zhang Yi's aura was rising, becoming stronger and stronger. Suddenly, a purple lightning bolt struck the blood-colored light pillar, exploding into a purple sea of lightning. Chapter 690, To the Enemy, One More Word is a Waste. The purple god-slaying lightning, carrying the laws of lightning, turned into a sea of lightning, cutting off the blood-colored light pillars like a sharp blade. The blood array paused for a moment. Meng Anwen seized this moment, erupted with all his strength, and the eternal Great Wall fully unfolded and closed. All the blood arrays in the 9 fortresses were cut off by the eternal Great Wall. The blood arrays on the meta battlefield outside the fortresses were still operating, but their power could no longer be transmitted smoothly. The blood array where Zhang Yi was located became an isolated island. Zhang Yi was shocked. His eyes fell on Lin Moyu. How is this possible? This is impossible. Then he saw the ancient Thunder Outer Tower in Lin Moyu's hand and exclaimed, "Ancient Thunder Outer Tower, how could you possibly obtain the ancient Thunder Outer Tower? Even if you obtain the ancient Thunder Outer Tower, you can't possibly control it. You're only level 77, impossible, absolutely impossible." At this moment, Zhang Yi was somewhat similar to the Dragon Emperor. His eyes were full of disbelief and incredulity. He could recognize the ancient Thunder Outer Tower, so he must also know about the god-slaying fortress. Lin Moyu could now say with 100% certainty that Zhang Yi was not bewitched, but truly possessed. The soul in Zhang Yi's body at this time was not Zhang Yi, but a creature from outside the world. Lin Moyu didn't know which race it was. But it didn't matter. Now he was the enemy, and Lin Mo Yu just needed to find a way to kill him. To the enemy, Lin Mo Yu didn't need to say a word of nonsense. One more word was a waste of breath. With a tap of his finger, another purple god-slaying lightning blasted out, hitting the blood array and causing it to shake non-stop. At this time, the blood array where Zhang Yi was located had been isolated. The eternal Great Wall had cut off the connection between the blood arrays, and it had become an isolated island. Zhang Yi didn't give up on the blood array. He roared, constantly increasing the power of the blood array, trying to break through the limitations of the eternal Great Wall. His whole body was bleeding, instantly turning into a blood man, and the power of the blood array also increased. Meng Anwen also fully enhanced the eternal Great Wall array. The two arrays were constantly competing and colliding. The collision of the arrays caused violent energy fluctuations. A gale howled throughout the fortress, and there were energy storms everywhere. A large number of professionals were hit by the energy storms and immediately injured. Lin Mo Yu glanced around. God, general order, everyone leave the fortress. Teacher, take everyone away, leave this to me. Bai Yiyuan wanted to say something, but Yan Kuangsheng told him, don't talk nonsense, go. Meng Anwen was even more decisive than Yan Kuangsheng. Streams of laws were waved out, turning into runes that merged into the Eternal Great Wall. The Eternal Great Wall was not just a defensive array. It also had various functions, and the teleportation function was one of them. Cooperating with the Divine Summer Tower, Meng Anwen instantly brought the teleportation function of the Eternal Great Wall to its limit. The Divine Summer Tower suddenly grew larger, instantly standing tall and reaching the sky. A large number of teleportation arrays appeared in various parts of the fortress, connecting to the Divine Summer Tower, sending everyone in the fortress into the Divine Summer Tower. Xiao Yu, be careful. Meng Anwen shouted in a low voice and teleported away from the fortress with Bai Yiyuan and others. Almost instantly, fortress number 9 was empty, leaving only Lin Mo Yu and Zhang Yi. Meng Anwen appeared outside the fortress, still fully maintaining the Eternal Great Wall. The Eternal Great Wall's light curtain firmly blocked the blood array's soaring blood pillars. Not only was fortress number 9 like this, but so were the other 8 fortresses. Meng Anwen gradually understood that the blood array had a total of 9 main arrays, corresponding to the 990 arrays on the meta battlefield. Once the 9 main arrays were isolated, the 990 arrays outside were like soldiers who had lost their commander, not knowing what to do. The leader of the 9 main arrays was the array in Fortress No. 9. In other words, as long as the array in Fortress number 9 was controlled, the other 8 arrays were not to be feared. But just in case, Meng Anwen issued a large number of orders to destroy the blood array. Bai Yiyuan, Yan Kuangsheng, Yi Hao, and many other divine-level powerhouses of the human race received the orders issued by Meng Anwen. Many divine-level powerhouses were not clear about what was happening, they were even filled with doubts about the blood arrays in the various fortresses. After receiving Meng Anwen's order, not one of them hesitated and immediately took action. Bai Yiyuan was the first to pounce on the blood array outside Fortress No. 9. He couldn't deal with Zhang Yi, nor could he deal with the blood array previously controlled by Zhang Yi. But now that the blood array outside the fortress was not controlled by anyone, it was much easier to destroy. The power of laws bombarded it, and under his iron fist, the blood array rapidly collapsed. Meng Anwen sent Yan Kuangsheng to Fortress No. 8. Yan Kuangsheng first eliminated the blood array inside the fortress, and then dealt with the blood array outside the fortress. With a large number of divine-level powerhouses taking action, the blood arrays were removed one by one. Zhang Yi's face became extremely ugly, he could feel that the blood arrays were being destroyed. I'm going to kill you, none of you will live. Zhang Yi looked like a madman. The removal of the blood array cut off his hope of advancing to the transcendent divine level. Originally, he should have advanced to the transcendent divine level as early as 600 years ago, but he had been forced to wait an extra 600 years for various reasons, and he had almost fallen because of it. But now, when advancement was clearly within reach, it was destroyed by someone. Zero seeking fresh flowers. Zhang Yi's eyes revealed killing intent. I will refine you into a blood zombie, imprison your soul, and make you unable to be reincarnated for all eternity. Lin Mo didn't say anything, returning the favor with purple god-slaying lightning. Amidst the roar, the blood array on the isolated island was on the verge of collapse. Carrying intense killing intent, Zhang Yi, holding the demon-slaying sword, rushed out of the sea of lightning and instantly killed his way to Lin Mo. The clothes on his body were tattered, and his skin was covered with scorch marks. Obviously the sea of lightning had caused him some damage, but not very much. Lin Mo was still not afraid. The undead legion appeared, followed by the Skeleton King's arrival. Soul skill. Power accumulation. Lin Mo activated the power accumulation skill, and his attributes instantly increased to the extreme, while inheriting all the skills of the summons. Skill. Absolute defense. Absolute defense was activated, reducing all damage by 99%, and the remaining 1% had to be weakened by the soul skill damage transfer. 0. Lin Mo completed a series of operations in an instant, taking less than half a second. Die! Zhang Yi roared hideously, the demon-slaying sword tore through space with a tearing sound, and the dark sword light almost swallowed Lin Mo. Lin Mo didn't dodge. It was impossible to dodge with Soul Lock. At the moment when the sword light approached, a purple god-slaying lightning shot out from the ancient Thunder Outer Tower, hitting Zhang Yi without deviation. Similarly, with Lin Mo's Soul Lock, Zhang Yi couldn't escape either. Trading injuries for injuries, Lin Mo also knew how to fight like this. The sword light swallowed Lin Mo, and the lightning swallowed Zhang Yi. The sword light was silent after the initial light sound. The god-slaying lightning was earth-shattering, resounding through Fortress No. 9. The power of this god-slaying lightning was much greater than before. A large number of houses in Fortress No. 9 collapsed, and many of them silently annihilated in the lightning, leaving nothing behind. Zhang Yi was blasted away by the lightning, his body full of wounds. But he was even more frantic. Trading injuries for injuries with me, what are you, a level 77 piece of trash? Before he could finish speaking, a sword light lit up on his body. The Skeleton King took action, and at the same time, the dense attacks of the Undead Legion landed on him in an instant. The sky suddenly turned black, and the red light of the Blood Array and the brilliant golden light of the Eternal Great Wall were obscured by the darkness. The Undead World projection descended, the Undead Gate opened, and the Undead Eye opened with raging flames, staring at Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi suddenly let out a scream, soul attack. Red light flashed, and the curse descended. Then flames burst out all over his body, lightning fell like raindrops, and at the same time, a green color appeared on Zhang Yi's face. Poison attack! Zhang Yi exclaimed again, in disbelief. Chapter 691. Why are you still not dead? The elemental liches appeared one after another, halos stacked upon halos, and all kinds of halos and all attacks fell on Zhang Yi. In an instant, Zhang Yi had to endure lightning strikes while turning into a fireman, and at the same time, he was poisoned. Lightning fell densely, tens of thousands of lightning strikes every second, non-stop. Although the power of the lightning was not great, it also gave Zhang Yi a headache. Curses and freezing also descended at the same time. Zhang Yi was not only shocked, but also crazy. Various elemental attacks, poison attacks, soul attacks, physical attacks. Zhang Yi really wanted to ask, what else is there that you don't know? Never seen such an opponent. Lin Mo flew out of the sword light. With absolute defense and damage transfer, he was not injured at all. Zhang Yi's pupils shrank suddenly. How is this possible? Even if Lin Mo could block his attack, he shouldn't be unharmed. You are too weak, Lin Mo said in a deep voice. This statement was half exaggeration and half truth. Zhang Yi was definitely not weak. How could he be weak when he had already stepped into the threshold of the half-step transcendent divine level? But compared to the Dragon Emperor, he was indeed weaker. Weak your mother. Zhang Yi's words were interrupted by the dense attacks. Zhang Yi roared and rushed over against the sky full of attacks, the demon-slaying sword in his hand waving again. The sword light lit up, and the void around Lin Mo's body was full of sword lights, thousands upon thousands. 10,000 swords, demon slaughter. Zhang Yi snorted coldly. He finally used a skill. The pair of star rings in Zhang Yi's hands exploded at the same time. As a divine swordsman, Zhang Yi possessed 9 pairs of 18 star rings, each pair representing an extremely powerful skill. He usually didn't need to use skills, ordinary attacks were enough to destroy the enemy. But now, he had to use skills, otherwise he would deal with Lin Mo. 10,000 sharp swords shot at Lin Mo at the same time, seemingly wanting to stab Lin Mo into a hedgehog. Lin Mo still didn't dodge, the absolute defense skill was still there, and he was not afraid of this attack. Under absolute defense, even the Dragon Emperor would find it difficult to hurt him, let alone Zhang Yi. 10,000 sharp swords approached Lin Mo, with no place to hide. Zhang Yi grinned hideously, I'm going to dismember you. As 10,000 swords approached, Lin Mo was not afraid at all. He pointed his finger at Zhang Yi, and the ancient thunder outer tower shot out god-slaying lightning again. The god-slaying lightning arrived first and exploded on Zhang Yi with a bang, blasting Zhang Yi away. Lin Mo's body seemed to have an invisible shield, swallowing all 10,000 sharp swords, leaving nothing behind. With absolute defense and damage transfer, under the dual damage reduction effect, Lin Mo was still unscathed. In Lin Mo's view, Zhang Yi was a level 98 half-step transcendent divine, much weaker than the Dragon Emperor. Moreover, the human body was not as powerful as the dragon body, so the effect of the god-slaying lightning was very good, and the damage caused was also considerable. This time, Zhang Yi suffered even more serious injuries. His hair was disheveled, and he was very embarrassed. Seeing that Lin Mo was fine, he roared madly again, "How did you do it? Why is this happening?" This scene was familiar, the Dragon Emperor was like this not long ago. If you don't believe anything, then simply don't believe it. Lin Mo wouldn't explain. The power accumulation skill time was up. Without soul replenishment, it could only be maintained for 14 seconds. This was also because he leveled up to 77, gaining 2 more seconds compared to level 76. After becoming a soul skill, gathering power could only last for 10 seconds at level 75, 12 seconds at level 76, and now at level 77, it reached 14 seconds. As the soul grew stronger, the duration that could be maintained also increased. Of course, in situations with a large number of enemies, continuously killing enemies and reaping souls could allow the gathering power skill to be maintained indefinitely. Zhang Yi suddenly sensed a change in Lin Moyu's aura, as if he understood something. "I understand, so you used a special skill. Now that your skill time is up, you're doomed." He raised his sword again to kill, believing he could definitely kill Lin Moyu this time. Lin Moyu still retreated quickly, with the undead army blocking in front. "Useless, these trash can't stop me at all." Zhang Yi laughed wildly, the demon-slaughtering sword drew countless sword shadows, and sword energy flew horizontally and vertically within the fortress. The headless knights and skeletons were crushed by the sword energy like straws, and quickly reborn in the summoning space. Lin Moyu relied on the undead army to block Zhang Yi, and pointed out again, the fifth divine thunder of extermination boomed out. As the fifth divine thunder of extermination boomed out, Lin Moyu's face suddenly turned extremely pale. 5 times of splitting the soul reached the limit, and no more splitting could be done. If he split again, it would damage the soul. But Lin Moyu still ignored it and continued to split the soul using the soul-splitting technique. One after another, divine thunder of extermination shot out from the ancient thunder outer tower. As the number of uses increased, Lin Moyu became more and more skilled. The power of the divine thunder of extermination was also gradually increasing. However, Lin Moyu's complexion was also getting worse and worse, pale and extremely unsightly. Constantly splitting the soul caused considerable damage to the soul, but Lin Moyu knew it didn't matter. Zhang Yi was blocked by the undead army and constantly bombarded by the divine thunder of extermination. The divine thunder of extermination that could injure the Dragon Emperor could also cause damage to him. There were too many undead army, and there was a large group after killing a group. Zhang Yi was extremely angry, and 2 more pairs of star rings on his wrist exploded at the same time. Sword Chi Wall, Sword Chi Swamp. A pair of star rings represents a skill. The Sword Chi Wall is a defensive skill, blocking the divine thunder of extermination. The Sword Chi Swamp is a large-scale attack skill, perfect for dealing with the undead army. Sword Chi filled the sky, forming a swamp that enveloped the entire fortress, making it difficult for the undead army to move within the Sword Chi Swamp. In just 2 seconds, the undead army was completely annihilated in the Sword Chi Swamp. Even the Headless Knight's group defense couldn't hold on, only the Skeleton King persisted with absolute defense. The Skeleton King killed Zhang Yi, swinging the giant bone sword. "Get out!" Zhang Yi directly rewarded it with a fierce sword energy, with a touch of bright red in the sword energy, which was Zhang Yi's law. The Skeleton King was instantly blown away, its bones broken. There was no way, the strength difference was too great. "Your summons are all dead, now it's your turn." As Zhang Yi's voice came, another pair of star rings exploded. 9 pairs of star rings, this was already the 4th pair of star rings. One sword slay the heavens. A terrifying giant sword appeared in the air, and the world paled as it slashed down. The world was like a curtain, and a huge wound was cut out. The terrifying sword energy slashed at Lin Moyu. This time, Lin Moyu did not summon the undead army, but placed them all in the summoning space. Lin Moyu heavily endured the sword energy, and retreated a few meters before blasting out another divine thunder of extermination. However, Zhang Yi's sword chi wall was still there, and the divine thunder of extermination failed to cause him any damage. Under the sword energy, the undead army in the summoning space was collectively annihilated for the second time. Then came the third time. Lin Moyu didn't care, the firelight in his hand flickered, cooperating with the undead gaze to attack Zhang Yi's soul. The undead lich was always behind Lin Moyu, and did not suffer any attacks. The undead halo shone brightly, waiting for the arrival of the fourth death. Zhang Yi groaned, soul attack, even he would be affected. This kind of pain in the soul made him even more crazy. But this was nothing. When he saw that Lin Moyu was still not dead, and didn't even look injured, he completely lost his mind. Why don't you die? Why? Why? Zhang Yi had never encountered such a thing. The fifth and sixth pairs of star rings exploded one after another. Chapter 692. Master the Rhythm, Kill You. 2 pairs of star rings exploded one after another, sword light burst out, and 2 more extremely powerful attack skills completely devoured Lin Moyu. This time, there was no divine thunder of extermination, and all the attacks seemed to have disappeared. In the sword light, even Lin Moyu's shadow was gone. It seemed that Lin Moyu had been reduced to ashes. Zhang Yi laughed wildly, dead now. No one can stop me. I will reopen the blood array and use the blood of you humans to help me achieve transcendence. I will become the master of the world, truly immortal. He laughed more and more crazily, and the sound shook the fortress. Outside the fortress, Meng Anwen's face was ugly. In his sight, there was no shadow of Lin Moyu either. It seemed that Lin Moyu was really killed, and had been turned into powder, with no bones left. He was not very confident, because all of Lin Moyu's performance was too calm, including just now when facing such a powerful attack. Lin Moyu was extremely calm. Based on his understanding of Lin Moyu never fought unprepared battles. Not dodging just now must be because there was no need to dodge. And he knew that Lin Moyu's undead army was not so easily killed. Lin Moyu's failure to summon later must have been his own plan. Zhang Yi laughed for a full 10 seconds before turning his gaze to Meng Anwen outside the fortress, with a bloodthirsty light in his eyes. Next is you. You just said you want to become the master of the world, truly immortal. So it seems that you are not truly immortal yet, and you can still be killed, right? A voice suddenly sounded. Zhang Yi's whole body tightened, and he was stunned on the spot. He turned his head sharply, and in his sight, Lin Moyu did not know when he had appeared in front of him. Moreover, his figure, appearance, and even the clothes on his body were no different from before. The only difference was that his complexion had returned to ruddy. Unique talent. Complete rebirth. This talent, which even Antares would call perverted, allowed Lin Moyu to be resurrected from the dead. All skill cooldowns were completely reset, and the soul was also restored intact. Lin Moyu's overdrawn soul just now was also completely reborn. Lin Moyu knew he had bet right. In this way, he could completely use his talent to use the divine thunder of extermination almost without limit. In fact, he had completed the rebirth more than 10 seconds ago. Complete rebirth was completed almost instantly. He just hid and didn't come out immediately. The cooldown time for complete rebirth was 1 minute, and he calculated the time, so he delayed it for a while. In less than 20 seconds, the cooldown for complete rebirth had passed 1/3. After knowing the characteristics of complete rebirth, Lin Moyu clenched his fists. I can have a good fight now. Zhang Yi looked at Lin Moyu as if he had seen a ghost, and at the same time screamed, how are you still alive? Zhang Yi's appearance was extremely comical and bizarre, as if he had received a huge shock. Lin Moyu chuckled, you're not the only one who can be immortal. Impossible, impossible, only we, the Soul Clan, can be immortal. Zhang Yi shouted angrily. Another pair of star rings exploded, and terrifying sword energy appeared in the air, falling like raindrops. Swords slaughter heaven and earth. The undead legion appeared again, and the skeleton king rose from his throne. As if everything had started again, Lin Moyu once again gathered energy for a skill, followed by absolute defense. The undead legion was annihilated in the sword energy, returning to the summoning space to be reborn. But it didn't matter, Lin Moyu just wanted to borrow the Skeleton King's absolute defense skill. This skill was enough to keep him safe for 14 seconds. In this way, 2/3 of the fully renewed talent had already passed. There wouldn't be any problems with the remaining 1/3. He allowed the sword energy to bombard him, while simultaneously striking Zhang Yi with divine punishment lightning. It was still a style of fighting that traded injury for injury. No skills were needed, just a head-on confrontation. After knowing the ability of the fully renewed talent, Lin Moyu no longer had any last concerns and could recklessly unleash divine punishment lightning. When his soul couldn't take it anymore, as long as the time since the last activation of the talent exceeded 1 minute, he could just die once. The reason he didn't summon the Undead Legion before was actually to seek death, but he didn't say it, so no one could know. Lin Moyu unhurriedly unleashed divine punishment lightning, and Zhang Yi's sword chi wall was getting weaker and weaker, on the verge of disappearing. At the same time, Lin Moyu also caught what Zhang Yi said, that he was from the Soul Clan. Lin Moyu didn't know what kind of race the Soul Clan was, but this race seemed to have the ability to be immortal. Lin Moyu didn't know if he could kill him, but he had to try no matter what. After fighting this great battle until now, Lin Moyu had completely controlled the rhythm. Lin Moyu knew that victory was firmly in his grasp. Lin Moyu gave Meng and Wen a look. Meng and Wen understood instantly, and immediately fully controlled the Eternal Great Wall. As long as Zhang Yi wasn't allowed to escape, Lin Moyu had a 100% certainty of killing him. Unless he also had something like the Dragon Emperor, taking out a super god-tier weapon. Zhang Yi's sword chi wall finally shattered, and Zhang Yi was once again blasted by the divine punishment lightning, screaming miserably, his injuries becoming more and more serious. In his madness, he erupted with all his strength, detonating the remaining 2 pairs of star rings in one go. The last 2 pairs of star rings contained the strongest skills that were not usually used, but when used, it was definitely a desperate move. Die! Zhang Yi, with his final madness, burst out blood all over his body, his whole body transforming into a blood-colored long sword, piercing towards Lin Moyu like lightning. Lin Moyu's expression changed slightly. This sword was very powerful, Zhang Yi was already fighting desperately. Even if he didn't do anything, after using this sword, Zhang Yi would also be half-crippled. He seems crazy, but there is calmness in his eyes. Behind this sword, there is also a killing move. Lin Moyu captured the information from Zhang Yi's eyes. There were still 20 seconds before the fully renewed talent finished cooling down. Lin Moyu didn't know how many times he would die from this sword. If the power was too great and the attack was continuous, he might die several times in a row. Once it exceeded 5 times, it would be a real death. With a thought, the Undead Legion descended one after another, blocking in front of him. This sword, he had no confidence, didn't want to block it. A level 98 demigod was really not easy to provoke. The demon-slaying sword, carrying terrifying power, charged all the way, and the huge sword energy burst out along the way. The Undead Legion died upon touching it, unable to resist. Lin Moyu quickly ascended into the air, and divine punishment lightning struck the demon-slaying sword. If the Undead Legion couldn't block it, he still had divine punishment lightning. If that didn't work, he still had the ancient Thunder Outer Tower. He didn't believe that the demon-slaying sword could pierce through the ancient Thunder Outer Tower. You can't escape, Zhang Yi roared, his whole body exploding with a bang, his flesh collapsing, and all the blood in the sky merging into the sword. The demon-slaying sword suddenly accelerated, becoming even sharper. Zhang Yi abandoned his physical body, truly becoming one with the sword. Lin Moyu thought of the events of more than 600 years ago. At that time, the records showed that Zhang Yi seemed to have broken through the encirclement with this sword. Although he fell, his soul attached to the demon-slaying sword and escaped back. At that time, Lin Moyu had suspected why the soul could still exist without the physical body. He had never heard of it in other professionals. At that time, he was still weak and didn't understand many things, thinking it was because Zhang Yi was a demigod. Now it seemed that this was not the case at all. The reason Zhang Yi was able to preserve his soul and survive by creating a secret realm with the help of the Hall of Arrays was because he was originally a member of the Soul Clan. He wants to escape. Lin Moyu thought he was going to repeat the same trick and escape again. But suddenly his eyes lit up, a light sword the size of a finger suddenly flew out of the demon-slaying sword, piercing into his brow like lightning. The speed was too fast, there was no way to avoid it. After the light sword entered his brow, Lin Moyu instantly stopped moving, his eyes closed. The demon-slaying sword also suddenly lost all its power and fell from the air. Chapter 693. Acting, I'm a professional. In the soul world, Lin Mo Yu saw a strange-looking fellow. This guy was slender in shape, his whole body constantly twisting. His body was covered with more than a dozen pairs of things that were either hands or feet, looking like a multi-legged worm, a bit disgusting. Lin Mo Yu, never thought of it, I entered your soul world. Your power is stronger than that trash Zhang Yi, I've decided, I'm going to eat your soul. Your power, your skills, everything you have will be. Before he could finish speaking, he suddenly couldn't speak anymore. He swore he had never seen such a lively soul world. 2 godheads, 2 god seats. A mythic grade scepter, a legendary grade scepter. Lin Mo Yu's soul was still normal, but what was the 9-colored divine dragon outside the soul? And why were there 2 towers in the soul's hands? One was legendary grade, and the other was the ancient thunder outer tower. In addition, there were 5 skill star cores shining brightly, like stars in the sky. 5 skill star cores. Zhang Yi looked a little panicked. Especially 2 of the skill star cores were very different, they were spinning too fast, as if they were going to suck his soul in. Zhang Yi shuddered violently, feeling like he had made the wrong decision. This, it seems, is not a place he should be. Lin Mo Yu's soul opened its eyes, and its voice resounded throughout the soul world, is this your true form? In his own soul world, he was God. Now that Zhang Yi had entered, he shouldn't even think about leaving. Zhang Yi trembled, his body as soft as noodles, shaking like a pendulum. Your soul, why is it so strong? Lin Mo Yu sneered, you think that I'm only level 77, so my soul should be about the same level, right? Isn't it? Zhang Yi said in a low voice, this is common sense that anyone above the god level should know. But Lin Mo Yu was too contrary to common sense. A level 77 professional, with a soul infinitely close to level 93. This is impossible. No, it's possible. Zhang Yi thought of a possibility and blurted out, you're not from this world, you also came from the outside. Lin Mo was slightly stunned, his eyes flickered, and after a 2-second silence, he said in a deep voice, how did you know? Zhang Yi chuckled, I guessed right. Just tell me, which race are you from? Lin Mo sneered, is that any of your business? You're just a failure of the soul race, what right do you have to question me? Zhang Yi suddenly laughed loudly, I have indeed failed, but I am a member of the soul race. You should know the consequences of killing me. A hint of gloom appeared in Lin Mo's eyes as he stared at Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi wore a look of fearlessness, as if he really wasn't afraid of Lin Mo. After a few seconds, Lin Mo sighed softly, it is indeed not easy to kill you, but I can imprison you, making it impossible for you to leave for all eternity. I will lock you in the god-slaying fortress and bombard you with god-slaying lightning every day, slowly torturing you. Don't worry, I will adjust the strength to ensure that you don't die. As he spoke, Lin Mo raised the ancient thunder outer tower, purple lightning crackling on the tower, looking very frightening. Lin Mo's eyes also carried a bloodthirsty look, which was very frightening. Zhang Yi was indeed taken aback and shouted, you can't imprison me, I would rather commit suicide. Lin Mo said, then go ahead and kill yourself. You. Zhang Yi was speechless for a moment. Even ants cling to life, let alone this soul race powerhouse. If he could avoid death, Zhang Yi would definitely not think about dying. Lin Mo thought for a while and said, actually, it's not impossible for me to let you go, but you have to agree to a few conditions. Hope rose in Zhang Yi's eyes, what conditions? Lin Mo slowly opened his mouth, first, you must never be an enemy of the human race again. Zhang Yi immediately nodded, after I go out, I will go to the abyss or the dragon realm, and I guarantee that I will never appear in the human race's world again. Secondly, I know you want to become the master of the world, immortal and indestructible. Actually, I wanted to, but I had some accidents while sneaking in, which caused me to sleep for many years, and I have some memory loss after waking up. While speaking, Lin Mo stared closely at Zhang Yi, capturing every reaction of Zhang Yi. He was afraid that he would say something wrong and arouse Zhang Yi's vigilance. But this appearance, in Zhang Yi's eyes, made him feel that Lin Mo was wary of him. Zhang Yi said, each race has its own unique way, my race's method is useless to you. Lin Mo nodded, you're right. Then tell me, if you reach the transcendent god level, what will you do next, so I can use it as a reference? Zhang Yi said, after becoming a transcendent god, naturally, I will find a way to obtain the world. Speaking of this, Zhang Yi suddenly stopped, and then he shouted sharply, you're lying to me. You're not from the outside world at all, you're from this world. You lied to me, how dare you lie to me? Lin Mo didn't know where he had revealed a flaw, but he remained calm on the surface. You must be mistaken, if I were from this world, how could I have such a strong soul? I still remember, when I was in the outer world, my realm should have been true God. Zhang Yi suddenly laughed. You slipped up again, true gods cannot descend into this world, the rules don't allow it. Lin Mo realized that he had said something wrong again. He knew too little about the outside world, and most of it was based on guesses. It was normal to guess wrong. The act was almost over. Lin Mo asked in a deep voice, how did you know I was lying to you? Zhang Yi laughed loudly, not acting anymore. It's right not to act, you don't understand the outside world at all. But I won't tell you where you slipped up, unless you are willing to let me go, otherwise don't even think about knowing. Since confronting Lin Mo, he had finally gained the upper hand once, and he seemed very excited. Lin Mo watched him fall into madness again and said lightly, it must have been it that made me slip up. The soul body stretched out its hand and gently touched the 9-colored dragon soul crystal beside it. 9-colored dragon soul, the dragon race's treasure. Since Zhang Yi came from the outside world, he must recognize it and must also know that the dragon race would never give away the 9-colored dragon soul. Lin Mo's ability to obtain the 9-colored dragon soul crystal was enough to show what relationship he had with Antares. Get money Zhao. Someone who could maintain a good relationship with Antares could never be someone from the outside world. Lin Mo still remembered that when Antares mentioned Zhang Yi, his tone was slightly strange. Antares obviously knew, but didn't say. And the most important thing was that Zhang Yi had stared at the 9-colored dragon soul crystal for a second just now. Although Zhang Yi only looked for a second and concealed it very well, it was still captured by Lin Mo. Moreover, even now, while laughing wildly and saying that he wouldn't tell Lin Mo, his eyes would unconsciously drift towards the 9-colored dragon soul crystal. All kinds of situations and details were telling Lin Mo the answer. Zhang Yi's laughter stopped abruptly, and he looked a little shocked. He clearly hadn't said anything. Zhang Yi's current performance only confirmed Lin Mo's guess. Lin Mo knew that he couldn't ask anything more. Since that's the case, then you can die. The ancient thunder tower glowed with purple light, and purple god-slaying lightning struck Zhang Yi's soul. Chapter 694. This dragon doesn't talk as much nonsense as you. Zhang Yi's soul let out a earth-shattering scream. The pain of being attacked in the soul was many times greater than ordinary injuries. The god-slaying lightning turned into a purple sea of lightning, bursting out with amazing destructive power. The soul is both strong and weak. A strong soul can be strong enough to destroy the world. A weak soul can be as fragile as a bubble. Zhang Yi's body was occupied by an unknown soul race member. Since it was called the soul race, its soul was not weak. It was just that it had now entered Lin Mo's world, and coupled with the fact that the god-slaying lightning could still play a role in the soul, it seemed fragile. 3 consecutive god-slaying lightning strikes, the sea of lightning roared, completely devouring Zhang Yi's soul. Zhang Yi roared painfully in the sea of lightning, you will regret it, my soul race will not let you go. At that time, you will be refined into a puppet, your soul will be sealed, and you will never be able to be reborn. Lin Mo shook his head, we'll talk about future matters later. His eyes were filled with murderous intent, and he had already made up his mind to kill and would never let Zhang Yi go. God-slaying lightning can not only destroy the physical body, but also obliterate the soul. Zhang Yi's soul was severely damaged and became weaker and weaker. Suddenly, its soul burst out with dazzling red light, and the red light actually broke through Lin Mo's soul world and disappeared without a trace. The remaining souls exploded, and blood-colored soul energy swept in, turning the entire soul space into a blood color. Self-destructed, quite decisive in the end. Lin Mo didn't expect Zhang Yi to self-destruct his soul. Facing the sweeping soul impact, Lin Mo was not flustered. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal spat out a mouthful of dragon breath, protecting Lin Mo. Then it took a deep breath, and actually sucked in most of the soul attacks. The remaining attacks landed on Lin Mo's soul body, and with the protection of the dragon's breath, they had no effect. After a few breaths, the 9-colored dragon soul crystal spat out another mouthful of dragon breath, which was the soul attack it had just absorbed. This soul energy was purified by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal and turned into pure soul energy. This soul energy quickly merged into Lin Mo's soul, and the soul suddenly emitted a dazzling light. Upgraded, Lin Mo's soul was glowing, and his body was also glowing. He jumped from level 77 to level 79. He leveled up 2 levels at once, completely exceeding Lin Mo's expectations. This kind of upgrade speed was too fast and too satisfying. Zhang Yi's soul level was extremely high, perhaps because he was a soul clan member, the quality of his soul was also quite good. Lin Moyu obtained a large amount of soul energy for upgrading, and at the same time, his soul level was also improved. Originally, he was half a step away from level 93, but now he has completely crossed this half step, and his soul level has truly reached level 93. With both his level and soul level improved, Lin Moyu's combat power has greatly increased. This harvest was very fruitful, the only pity is that he failed to get more information. Knowing that Zhang Yi was a Soul Clan member, an outsider. Then, could there be more outsiders lurking in every corner of the world? Perhaps they have taken over someone's body, or perhaps they exist in other ways. There is no way to tell, which gives Lin Moyu a headache. Lin Moyu let out a long sigh and said to Meng Anwen, "Teacher, it's over." Meng Anwen asked, "Is Zhang Yi dead?" Lin Moyu nodded, "Yes, he's dead, close the Eternal Great Wall." Meng Anwen nodded and put away the Eternal Great Wall. The blood array was still running, but Bai Yiyuan and the others were destroying the blood array. With no one to stop them, the 999 blood arrays would soon be cleared away. Meng Anwen manipulated the Divine Sha Tower, and beams of light fell into the blood array of Fortress No. 9, destroying it. Fortress No. 9 had been completely destroyed, only the city wall was still intact, because it was protected by the Eternal Great Wall. It would take a lot of time to rebuild the entire fortress. Meng Anwen looked at Lin Moyu and said in a low voice, "He wasn't the righteous god, was he?" Lin Moyu nodded, "He never was." Meng Anwen pointed to the sky, "He came from outside." Lin Moyu nodded again, "Yes, he claimed to be a Soul Clan member, his soul was a worm-like thing, a bit disgusting. But its soul is very strong, stronger than our human race at the same level. It should be a race that excels at soul manipulation." Meng Anwen looked solemn, "Besides him, are there others?" His concerns were the same as Lin Moyu's. "I can't be sure, I tried to get information from him, but I didn't succeed. He blew up his soul in the end, leaving nothing behind." "Teacher, I'm going to find Antares, I'll leave this place to you." Meng Anwen nodded, "Go ahead, we'll take care of things here." During the activation of this blood array, many professionals were affected. Many people were injured, and some were swallowed by the blood array and died on the spot. There was a lot of aftermath work to be done, and Meng Anwen and others also needed to preside over the overall situation here to ensure everything was safe. Lin Moyu activated Antares' dragon scale and teleported away. Why aren't you sleeping this time?" Lin Moyu looked at Antares, with obvious anger in his eyes. Antares deliberately turned his head away from Lin Moyu. "This dragon sleeps when it wants to sleep, and doesn't sleep when it doesn't want to sleep. I'm not sleepy now, I don't want to sleep." Lin Moyu flew in front of Antares, "You're avoiding me." Antares turned his head again and snorted, "What does this dragon have to avoid? Don't you have anything to say to me?" Lin Moyu still didn't let Antares go, and flew in front of its eyes again. "No." Antares simply closed his eyes, out of sight, out of mind. But in this way, it seemed even more guilty. Lin Moyu didn't expose it. "In that case, I'll ask, and you answer." Antares said, "This dragon will only answer when it wants to answer, if it doesn't want to answer, don't even think about getting anything out of this dragon." Lin Moyu didn't care. "Did you know about Zhang Yi's problem a long time ago?" "I knew," Antares admitted very straightforwardly. Lin Moyu asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" "You didn't ask, and besides, were we familiar back then?" Antares looked like it was a matter of course. Lin Moyu said, "If I didn't ask, would you have never said anything? If you don't ask, what am I supposed to say? This dragon isn't like you, so fond of talking nonsense." Lin Moyu quickly asked, "Were you already thinking about how to answer my questions just now, thinking about what I would ask?" Of course. As soon as Antares said this, he immediately realized something was wrong. "No. I understand." Lin Moyu interrupted Antares. Antares was depressed, staring at Lin Moyu with his eyes wide open. "Can you chat properly? It's rude to interrupt others." Lin Moyu said, "Is it polite for you to treat a good friend like this? What if something big happens, what should we do then? Isn't it just a Soul Clan matter? What's there to say? Didn't you kill it now?" Antares shouted loudly, "And it's not like I didn't do anything, I even helped you intercept its remnant soul just now. If its remnant soul escaped, do you know how much of an aftermath it would leave behind? Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Remnant soul. He was slightly surprised. He didn't expect Zhang Yi to have left such a move behind. On the surface, it was a self-explosion, but secretly, he let his remnant soul escape. He was a Soul Clan member, and obviously knew far more about souls than himself, and must have a way to restore the remnant soul. Obviously, Antares had helped him again. Antares looked at Lin Moyu, knowing that he already understood. Hu snorted arrogantly and turned his head away from Hong Hong Zhu. Lin Moyu softened his tone. Can you tell me about the Soul Clan? Apologize. Antares slowly uttered 2 words, but didn't refuse Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu took a deep breath. I'm sorry, I was really anxious just now. Lin Moyu was indeed a little angry just now. What if Zhang Yi's sword wasn't aimed at Yi Hao at the time, but at Bai Yiyuan? Bai Yiyuan may not be able to get away unscathed. If something really happened, Lin Moyu would regret it. So he was a little angry at Antares. But now that I think about it, it's actually none of Antares' business. It's true that I didn't ask, and I wasn't familiar with it at the time. Antares still ignored Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu flew in front of Antares' eyes, less than half a meter away, and bowed sincerely. I'm sorry, Lord Antares, I was wrong this time. You are generous, you wouldn't hold it against me, would you? Chapter 695, Zhang Yi's Tragic Fate. Under Lin Moyu's persistent begging, Antares finally forgave Lin Moyu with a large amount of generosity. Then a fist-sized bubble appeared in front of Lin Moyu. Inside the bubble was Zhang Yi's remnant soul, which looked very weak and was already unconscious, without any awareness. Antares spewed dragon breath, tossing the bubble around at will, and as the bubble rolled, the remnant soul inside also rolled non-stop. The remnant soul didn't wake up, but Lin Moyu saw pain on its face. The remnant soul was already very weak, and it was unknown how long it would take to recover, and after being tossed around by Antares like this, it became even weaker. Lin Moyu looked at the bubble and mourned for Zhang Yi for half a second. Zhang Yi's remnant soul could dissipate and vanish into thin air at any time. It was estimated that he never thought that he would fall into Antares' hands. Antares said, "Did you see the thing in the remnant soul?" Lin Moyu nodded. In the center of the remnant soul, there seems to be a pebble. This is not a pebble, this is the soul core of the Soul Clan. Antares spat out a mouthful of dragon breath and merged it into the bubble, seeping into Zhang Yi's remnant soul. Zhang Yi's remnant soul showed a painful expression, trembling even in his coma. In the center of the remnant soul, a spot of light lit up, very small, less than the size of a fingernail, looking like a pebble. Antares said, "The Soul Clan is not a powerful race. Their weaknesses are too obvious. They have no physical body and need to seize the bodies of other races. So the appearance of the Soul Clan is strange and varied, with members of all races. Moreover, their reputation is not good, and all races dislike them." Lin Mo thought for a moment and understood. Who would like a race that constantly thinks about seizing their body? The Soul Clan is probably like rats crossing the street, hated by everyone. Antares continued, however, the Soul Clan also has advantages. As long as their soul core is not destroyed, they can regenerate. They can abandon their physical body at any time. As long as their soul core is still there, they can change to another physical body after regeneration, and at worst, cultivate again. If they happen to encounter a powerful physical body, the Soul Clan can even become extremely powerful in a short period of time. Lin Mo said, "Such a race, hasn't anyone destroyed them?" In Lin Mo's understanding, this kind of race would definitely be targeted, even attacked by groups. Antares shook his head. "I want to destroy them, but I can't." Does the Soul Clan have invincible beings? Lin Mo thought, that was the only possibility. That's one reason. Antares spat out a mouthful of dragon breath, and Zhang Yi's soul showed a painful expression again, trembling non-stop. Antares seemed to be addicted to playing, treating Zhang Yi's remnant soul as a toy. As for Zhang Yi's life and death, he didn't care at all. While playing, it said, there are indeed some strong people in the Soul Clan, but this is not the main reason. There are many races stronger than the Soul Clan. The key is that the Soul Clan is not easy to kill. To kill the Soul Clan, you have to destroy their soul core. But after reaching the true God realm, the Soul Clan can split a second soul core. Moreover, as the realm improves in the future, they can split a third, fourth soul core. Like a cunning rabbit with 3 burrows, these bastards will hide the split soul core. God knows where they will hide it. As long as one soul core is missed, they can be resurrected and regenerated. Lin Mo said, in this case, can't the Soul Clan be completely killed? Antares shook his big head, that's not the case, it's just troublesome to kill. For some truly powerful and incredible beings, it is not difficult to destroy the Soul Clan, but the Soul Clan is nothing in the eyes of such beings. In their eyes, the Soul Clan is just a small ant. As long as this small ant doesn't crawl on them, they won't bother to do anything. The Soul Clan is also very smart, knowing which races can be provoked and which cannot. Lin Mo nodded secretly. To survive in a world where strong people stand in great numbers, the Soul Clan must have a set of skills. However, from Antares' words, Lin Mo also heard that the outside world is also a law of the jungle. The law that might makes right is very clear. Lin Mo continued to ask, Zhang Yi once said that he wanted to become the lord of the world, and also said that becoming a transcendent god would make him immortal. Oh, really? Antares asked with doubt. The Soul Clan's so-called immortality generally means being able to split a second soul core and then hide it in a place where no one can find it. But that can only be done when reaching the true god level. It seems that this guy still has secrets. Let me study it. Antares moved, and the mist that had always been wrapped around its body kept churning, covering the sky and the sea, almost in the blink of an eye, covering most of the core area. Even the streamers in the air were covered by the thick fog. Then Lin Mo saw a huge dragon claw protruding from the thick fog. The dragon claw was huge, enough to cover hundreds of miles. Zero seeking fresh flowers. The dragon claw was purple and black, exuding a heavy aura, extremely luxurious. Compared to the bubble, which was only the size of an adult's fist, it seemed so insignificant. A trace of purple gold energy flew out from the dragon claw and landed on the bubble. Soul search. A deafening sound rang in the soul, and Lin Mo only felt a huge shock in his soul, and his whole body was extremely painful. Lin Mo was horrified. Antares was not targeting himself, but he still felt the threat from the depths of his soul. If Antares was targeting himself, he would definitely be powerless to resist. Antares' strength had reached a level he could not understand. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal spat out a mouthful of dragon breath at this time to protect the soul, but it could still feel the tingling, and it seemed that even the 9-colored dragon soul crystal had lost its effect. It was not that the 9-colored dragon soul crystal was bad, but that Antares was too strong, and Lin Mo's soul level was indeed too low. Lin Mo endured the tingling and carefully watched Antares' movements. The thunderous roar shook the soul, and the words, search, penetrated deep into the soul, unable to be erased. Lin Mo knew that Antares was deliberately roaring for him to hear. It could have not shouted at all, but it roared for him to hear, so that he would know what it was doing. Soul search, search the soul, obtain information. In the bubble, Zhang Yi's soul woke up under the soul search, and the soul twisted in pain. Lin Mo could hear the soul sound made by Zhang Yi, which was really miserable beyond description. First, he was taken by Antares as a toy, and now he was searched again. This guy was really miserable. Looking back on Zhang Yi's life, you can indeed write a laughable and sad history. Zhang Yi's soul gradually faded under Antares' search and disappeared. In the end, only a soul core was left, and after a few seconds, the soul core also exploded. Zhang Yi was completely dead, his ashes scattered, and he could not die anymore. With Zhang Yi's complete death, the core area returned to normal. Antares opened his eyes, a flash of light flashed in his eyes, so that's how it is, no wonder he said that Transcendent God can be immortal, there is a world core falling here. Why didn't I find it before? I really missed it. It's a pity, this guy is really tragic. Antares muttered to himself, his eyes drifting towards Lin Mo, the meaning was saying, you beg me, if you beg me, I will tell you. Lin Mo looked at Antares' eyes, and 2 words popped out in his heart, vase. Enter. Chapter 696, Kill me, 4 times. The man and the dragon stared at each other again, and finally, after persisting for half a minute, Antares couldn't help but retreat. Okay, seeing your eager eyes, I will tell you. Antares found a step for himself and jumped down directly. Lin Mo smiled, Lord Antares is really generous. Of course. Antares also responded to Lin Mo's words, according to this guy's memory, there is a world core in the deep space. After he becomes a transcendent god, and then absorbs the world core, he can split a second soul with the world core. World core. Lin Mo heard a new term again and discovered a new continent. Just looking at the name, it should be a very remarkable thing. This time Antares didn't play tricks and explained directly, the world core is the seed left after a world dies. Worlds are big and small, strong and weak. The world core that Zhang Yi found is just the core of a small world and is not powerful. But even if it is the core of a small world, it is considered a good thing, at least better than everything you have obtained now. Lin Mo didn't quite believe it, better than the 9-colored dragon soul crystal. Cough cough. Antares coughed twice in a row, that can't be compared, people make mistakes and dragons misspeak, I said the wrong thing. Anyway, you just need to know that it is a good thing. Lin Mo smiled, then what is the specific use? Antares said, the world core has many uses, it is a true god-level thing, it can be used to create true god-level weapons, and it can also be used for cultivation and to comprehend the laws. After all, it is the product of the destruction of a small world, condensing all the essence of the small world. But these uses are secondary to you. If you can get it, you will have the opportunity to truly become the lord of the world. Lin Mo said, is it the lord of the world that has been destroyed? Antares shook his head, no, it is the lord of the world of your current world. Think about it, if you become the lord of the world, everyone in the entire world is your subordinate, you let them live and they live, you let them die and they die. Even transcendent gods cannot threaten you. At that time, even if you face a true god, you will have a certain amount of self-protection. Lin Mo suddenly had a creepy feeling. A world core actually has such a big effect. His heart instantly became fiery, extremely wanting to obtain this world core. Antares poured another bucket of cold water, however, obtaining the world core isn't easy, and refining it is also difficult. According to Zhang Yi's memories, there are quite a few fellows eyeing it, so you need to be prepared. Lin Mo Yu immediately felt excitement in his heart, the world core is in the deep space, what exactly is the deep space like? Antares said somewhat mysteriously, deep space is a place full of danger, full of slaughter, and full of opportunities. Listening to Antares' words, Lin Mo Yu thought of similar words that Bai Yi Yuan had once said. Bai Yi Yuan once said that the immemorial battlefield was full of opportunities, with danger and rewards. In fact, the biggest reward he spoke of came from the deep space. As for the upper and lower layers, there would naturally be opportunities as well, and Lin Mo Yu had gained a lot. But it was far inferior to the deep space. Lin Mo Yu said in a deep voice, can you be more specific? I can't, but I can tell you that deep space is very dangerous. In some places, even transcendent gods can fall. Antares said it very seriously, definitely not alarmist. Lin Mo Yu became more and more curious about the place where even transcendent gods could fall. But the deep space was clearly a place where even god-level experts could enter. If even transcendent gods were to fall, wouldn't god-level experts die very simply, like instant noodles that shatter with a touch? Antares understood Lin Mo Yu's doubts, I know you have questions, you'll know the specifics when the time comes, it's really hard to explain now. But I can tell you that deep space is connected to the desolate void. There was really no need for too much explanation, just this half sentence was enough. Lin Mo Yu knew very well how strong the desolate beasts were. Moreover, the desolate beasts were just the vanguard, cannon fodder, and there were even more powerful masterminds behind them. And there were also the Zerg. Once connected to the desolate void, the meaning would be completely different. Lin Mo Yu pondered a lot at once, and the deep space also became mysterious. Antares chuckled, don't think about it if you can't figure it out, how should I put it about that place? Anyway, it's very troublesome. Lin Mo Yu nodded and stopped thinking about it, I don't want to think about it anymore. When I reach level 90, I'll go there and see for myself. Some things, no matter how much you think about them, it's better to see them for yourself. Lin Mo Yu imagined that when he reached level 90, his soul level would be at least level 96, able to control laws. At that time, he could use the purple god-slaying lightning recklessly. With the purple god-slaying lightning's half-step transcendent god-level attack power, he could at least have some self-preservation ability. As he spoke, Lin Mo Yu sat down cross-legged and slowly closed his eyes. The originally calm and peaceful soul power instantly boiled, the soul power spread wantonly, and the invisible power slammed into the earth, making a rumbling sound. After a few breaths, the soul power began to quickly converge, and finally returned to silence within the body. Antares murmured, that brat's soul power is starting to transform into tangible form, the foundation is very solid, pure and flawless, not bad, not bad. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal wasn't given in vain, it seems this dragon is still very powerful. Old fellow, look clearly, this old man can even give away the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, you still dare to say that this old man's magnanimity isn't big enough. A look of reminiscence appeared in Antares' eyes, as if recalling some unpleasant memories, and occasionally a fierce aura flashed. At this time, Lin Moyu was already immersed in his own world. He had leveled up several times in a row, and had enough soul power to move the skill star cores. The massive soul power rushed into the skill space, randomly selected one from the dozen or so similar skill star cores, and began to drag it. This time, the binding force of the skill space increased again. The fewer skill star cores there were, the greater the binding force of the skill space would be. Lin Moyu had known this for a long time and didn't find it surprising. Fortunately, his soul level and energy had both increased, and moving the skill star core wasn't difficult. The soul energy turned into countless fine threads, surrounding a skill star core, and slowly dragged it out of the skill space. The whole process went smoothly. In just half a day, the skill star core left the place where it was born and raised, and began to move towards the soul. Once it left the skill space, the skill star core moved much faster, and it was soon brought into the soul space. The soul energy burst out instantly, rushing into the skill star core like a tsunami. After the previous few times, Lin Moyu had plenty of experience and knew how to increase the fusion degree. There were no skills, just send all the soul energy in, as much as you have. The more soul energy you give, the higher the final fusion degree will be. The skill star core began to shine brightly, bursting out with amazing light. The soul became weaker and weaker, and began to shrivel. In a very short period of time, Lin Moyu sent all the soul energy into the skill star core in an almost brutal way. Antares suddenly heard Lin Moyu's voice, "Kill me, 4 times. Chapter 697, Did I Create a Son? Antares looked at Lin Moyu with a bewildered expression, "Are you crazy, kid?" "Not crazy, kill me, 4 times, Lin Moyu continued to say. After 2 seconds, seeing that Antares still hadn't taken action, Lin Moyu urged again, "Can you be more decisive? Are you a male? Can you be more decisive? Your sister." Antares was stimulated, and with a low shout, a force descended from the sky and landed on Lin Moyu. The undead legion in the summoning space collectively died, and then quickly reborn in the summoning space. Antares acted with great care, roughly at the level of a level 98, not even close to the level of a half-step transcendent god. 3 more times, Lin Moyu continued to say. Antares seemed to have guessed what Lin Moyu was going to do, and launched an attack every 2 seconds. The second time, the third time, the fourth time. "Stop!" A purple light flashed, and Lin Moyu simultaneously shouted to stop. The talent had already been activated, fully renewed. The soul that had just been exhausted instantly returned to its peak state. At this time, the skill star core had not stopped, and was still in a state of fusion. Moreover, it was still shining, and the soul energy absorbed just now had not been reset due to the fully renewed talent. Effective. Lin Moyu was overjoyed, his idea was indeed effective. He found a new continent. As long as he could accurately calculate the time, master the rhythm, he could completely push the fusion degree of the skill to 100%. Thinking of the previous few skill star cores, it was really a waste. He only blamed himself for being too stupid, for not thinking of this method sooner. Scolding himself, he also sent soul energy in. The skill star core became brighter and brighter, and the fusion degree also continued to increase. Lin Moyu controlled the output of soul energy, until the soul energy was exhausted again. 2 minutes had passed. Lin Moyu spoke again, 4 times. Antares now understood what Lin Moyu was going to do, and chuckled, "No problem." Another 4 attacks. Purple light flashed, and the fully renewed talent was activated again. The soul energy was once again abundant, and large amounts of soul energy rushed into the skill star core as if they were free. The third time, he poured in soul energy, until the skill star core was completely complete, and no longer accepted any soul energy. Its brightness also reached its extreme, and it had become like a sun. The skill star core was not only glowing, but also extremely hot, making the originally temperatureless soul space warm. "Did I create a sun?" His soul was speaking, and his mouth also unconsciously made a sound. After hearing this, Antares was extremely shocked. "What did you say?" Lin Moyu said, "My skill star core seems to have turned into a sun." Even Antares trembled slightly at this. "You're a complete madman." Lin Moyu didn't know what this meant, but Antares was clear. This meant a 100% fusion rate. A 100% fusion rate for a skill star core was something at least a demigod could achieve. Lin Moyu was only level 79, yet he had pushed his skill fusion to 100%. Even Antares had to sigh, Lin Moyu's talent was too monstrous. Having completely absorbed the soul energy, the skill star core, shining to its extreme, suddenly burst open. The entire soul space was enveloped in a strong light, and even Lin Moyu, its owner, couldn't see anything for a moment. There was nothing but light. The massive energy fed back, and the soul level instantly improved somewhat. Because Lin Moyu had consumed all his soul energy twice in a row, and passed the third time as well, the skill star core had accumulated too much energy. The one-time feedback, merely improving the soul level slightly, couldn't consume it all. The 9-colored dragon soul crystal immediately perked up, opened its mouth, and sucked up all the soul energy, then spat it out. After its purification and tempering, the soul energy became even purer. This soul energy spread throughout the soul space, actually causing the soul space to expand rapidly. After a moment, the strong light disappeared, and Lin Moyu saw his soul world again. The soul world had become larger, several times larger than before. It was unknown what benefits a larger soul space would bring, but it certainly wouldn't be bad. Originally, Lin Moyu's soul space was very crowded, with a lot of things squeezed together. Now, because the soul space had become vast, the distance between things increased, thus no longer being crowded. Then, Lin Moyu saw a new visitor in his soul. A huge fireball was burning fiercely in the soul. The previous skill star cores were constantly rotating around it. It really turned into a sun. Lin Moyu muttered. Seeing this scene, he seemed to recall the galaxy he had seen in his previous life. Some planets revolved around the sun. Those planets were called planets, and the sun was a star. Lin Moyu looked at the sun-like skill star core and checked its attributes. Open black lens bracket wings of the undead fusion rate 100%, summons wings of the undead, flies at a speed of 10,000 meters per second, with no consumption. If additional soul power is consumed, the flying speed can be increased, with no upper limit. Close black lens bracket. It wasn't an attack skill, nor a defense skill, but the lowest level lightning undead wings. After the skill fusion reached 100%, its lightning attribute was erased, and it became wings of the undead. The attribute became purer, and began to completely match the Necromancer's class. Flying at a speed of 10,000 meters per second, with no consumption, was already a good attribute. If it wasn't fast enough, you could consume additional soul power to increase the flying speed, with no upper limit. This attribute didn't seem like much at first glance, but it was a bit perverted upon closer inspection. That is to say, the stronger Lin Moyu's soul, the faster the flying speed, with no upper limit. Whether used to chase enemies or escape, it was an excellent skill. Antares' voice sounded. How is it? What skill did you get? What's the fusion rate? Lin Moyu said, the fusion rate is 100%, but it's not an attack skill or a defense skill, but... He described the skill and used it at the same time, summoning the wings of the undead. A pair of white jade-like bone wings appeared on his back, and silver-white undead flames burned on the bone wings, replacing the previous lightning. It seemed that this was the bone wings a necromancer should have, more in line with the identity of a necromancer than the previous lightning. Antares saw this and said, a flying skill, what a pity. Lin Moyu asked strangely, is it not good? Antares said, it's not that it's not good, but it's a bit useless. Real powerhouses are very fast, and 10,000 meters per second is nothing. Lin Moyu said, I can consume soul power to increase the flying speed. Antares didn't think much of it. How fast can it be? Lin Moyu didn't know. I'll try. He flew outside, and Antares watched Lin Moyu. With his ability, he could see through all levels of space, and Lin Moyu's speed was nothing. But for Lin Moyu, 10,000 meters per second was already faster than the ancient Luan bird. Now, the ancient Luan bird couldn't laugh at him anymore. After adapting to the skill's speed, Lin Moyu began to try using soul power to accelerate. With a thought, soul power quickly disappeared. Then he disappeared with a whoosh. The bored Antares suddenly perked up. Lin Moyu actually disappeared from his sight. Chapter 698. Every skill is monstrous. Antares blinked his dragon eyes, somewhat disbelieving. Lin Moyu didn't just disappear, but cut off Antares' soul lock. Although Antares found Lin Mo Yu again the next second, Lin Mo Yu had really broken free from his soul lock the second before. Antares was very clear about his own strength, and no one in this world could break free from his soul lock. Even the true demigods of the previous era couldn't do it. But Lin Mo Yu really broke free from his soul lock at the moment of acceleration. It was as if a sharp blade directly cut off the connection between the two. Antares didn't care about Lin Mo Yu's speed, it was no different from a turtle crawling to him. But the function of cutting off the soul lock was a bit heaven-defying. Another monstrous skill, Antares muttered to himself. None of the brat's skills are normal. This skill was simply a divine skill for escaping. Lin Mo Yu was now suspended in the air, with a look of shock on his face. In just 1 second, he had flown 100,000 meters. The speed instantly increased by 10 times. If 10,000 meters per second wasn't much, then 100,000 meters per second was a bit amazing. And he hadn't used his full strength, only using less than 1% of his soul power. And the power of divinity had quickly replenished the consumed soul power. If I use my full strength, Lin Mo Yu couldn't imagine how fast he would be. Let's try. With excitement, Lin Mo Yu aimed at the direction where Antares was, and said at the same time, Antares, I'm going to fly at full speed, can you help me see how fast I am? The speed was too fast, he was afraid he couldn't calculate it, so he asked Antares. He knew Antares could definitely hear him. Without waiting for Antares to respond, Lin Mo Yu had already activated all his soul power. Lin Mo Yu disappeared from Antares' soul lock again. When Antares locked onto Lin Mo Yu again, a full 10 seconds had passed. In these 10 seconds, Antares didn't find Lin Mo Yu's trace at all, Lin Mo Yu seemed to have really disappeared. After 10 seconds, Lin Mo Yu had crossed the entire upper space and arrived at the other end of the upper space. A force of repulsion came from the space, trying to drive Lin Mo Yu out of the upper space. At this time, Lin Mo Yu's expression looked a little weak, and his soul power was almost exhausted. But Lin Mo Yu was very excited, he had actually crossed the entire upper space in less than 10 seconds. Lin Mo Yu couldn't count this distance, but it must be tens of thousands of kilometers. The exact amount, you'd have to ask Antares to know. Before Lin Mo Yu could speak, a surge of power acted upon him. Accompanied by a dizzying teleportation, Lin Mo Yu found himself back beside Antares. Lin Mo Yu asked excitedly, how's the speed? Antares hummed in agreement, the speed is acceptable, approximately 2,000 kilometers per second. That fast, Lin Mo Yu exclaimed. At 2,000 kilometers per second, in the lower planes, one could cross the wind and thunder sea in a second. It's a pity that his soul force was too weak, only able to maintain top speed for 10 seconds. Antares said, the greatest use of this skill isn't the speed. Not the speed, then what is it? Lin Mo Yu asked. Antares said in a deep voice, you might not feel it yourself, but the greatest use of this skill is its ability to sever others' soul lock on you. Sever soul lock, Lin Mo Yu couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Of course, he knew what this meant, and he couldn't help but be excited. Antares said, with this skill, if someone is chasing you, you don't need to be particularly fast. You just need to completely sever their soul lock on you for a period of time, which will be enough for you to escape. It might not be useful against someone of my level, but it's very useful against enemies like desolate beasts. Lin Mo Yu added to Antares' words, it's not just useful for escaping, it's also useful in combat. It's also great for dodging soul-locked skills. When other skills can't lock onto you, the battle will become much more interesting. You're right, but that requires extremely precise control. Are you sure you can do it? Antares expressed doubt. Even if Lin Mo Yu only used a trace of soul force, his skill could suddenly send him tens of thousands of meters away. During battle, flying so far away at once would be almost like leaving the battlefield. So, to achieve the effect Lin Mo Yu described, it would require extremely precise control. Lin Mo Yu wasn't worried at all, if I can't do it, I'll just practice more, what's there to be afraid of? Alright, whatever makes you happy. Antares didn't have any objections, since this was the only path available. Whether he could master it or not, at least it wouldn't do any harm. Lin Mo Yu thought for a moment, come into my soul space and help me take a look. My soul space seems to have changed a bit. Antares said, oh, and readily agreed. Lin Mo Yu's willingness to generously invite him into his soul space showed his trust in him. Antares liked this feeling. Entering Lin Mo Yu's soul space again, Antares's first sight was of the skill star core, resembling a star. Among all the skill star cores, it was the most fiery, burning like a blazing flame. At the same time, it was also the largest in volume, emitting a warm aura, illuminating most of the soul space. The other skill star cores were like planets, constantly revolving around it. Antares glanced at it. As expected, it's 100% fusion, almost perfect, only one step away from sublimation. Lin Moyu asked, "It can still sublimate?" "Yes, but you're still far from it. Don't ask about things that are too far off." Antares blocked Lin Moyu from saying anything further. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry, it was indeed still early. Antares looked around. "Your soul space has become larger. In terms of unit space breadth, it's already close to the level of a half-step transcendent." Not bad, keep up the good work." Antares acted like a senior, praising him before withdrawing from the soul space. Lin Moyu knew that if Antares didn't say there was a problem, then there was no problem. Then, without thinking too much, he began practicing controlling the wings of the undead. Each time, he only used a trace of soul power, precisely controlling the distance of movement. At first, each time he could fly tens of thousands of meters, but with constant practice, the accuracy was rapidly improving. The more Lin Moyu practiced, the more excited he became, and the faster his speed became. With the blessing of divine power, the 7,900% soul power recovery speed allowed Lin Moyu to have no worries at all, and he could practice his skills non-stop. Antares watched Lin Moyu suddenly flash to the east, then suddenly flash to the west, his control becoming more and more proficient. This kid is indeed a genius. Only level 79, but his soul level has already reached level 93, and his soul space can rival a half-step transcendent. His future is limitless, and he might really become the lord of the world. But when the time comes, I don't know if becoming the lord of the world is a blessing or a curse, but if he wants to jump out, this step must be taken. Kid, good luck. Antares's gaze was extremely complicated, and it had great expectations for Lin Moyu. But at the same time, it also had worries. But as it said, if he wanted to jump out, some things had to be done. Chapter 699, The Magic Emperor. Now that we're here, let's take it easy. Divine Summer Ancient City, a slender woman slowly walked into the city. She wore a form-fitting mage's outfit, revealing her waist, and her skin was as white as snow. Her beauty was even more stunning, giving people a sense of amazement. Her arrival immediately attracted the attention of a large number of male professionals. Many people who were originally chatting were stunned the moment they saw her. Their eyes were firmly attracted to her, unable to leave for a long time. She was stunning, exuding unimaginable charm at all times. Not only male professionals, but many female professionals were also attracted to her, revealing envy. She was like a fire in the cold night, attracting everyone's attention as soon as she appeared. There wasn't much expression on her face, and the corners of her mouth seemed to be slightly smiling. But in the depths of her eyes, there was a hint of disgust. She didn't like being watched like this. Fortunately, it was just watching, and no one came to harass her. Professionals still had their own integrity, especially high-level professionals who could reach level 70 and complete their third job advancement. Everyone had their own principles. More people just appreciated her. Everyone liked beautiful things. She came to the center of the square, where the ancient Leda was located. It's just that the ancient Leda hasn't been activated yet and is submerged underground. A circle has been drawn here, and soldiers are stationed outside the circle, not allowing anyone to approach. The woman didn't approach either, just stood in the distance and watched. Ancient Leda. The woman slowly uttered 3 words, with a hint of curiosity in her eyes. "Miss, are you here to see the ancient Leda?" A voice suddenly sounded in her ear, and someone came over. The person who came over was a middle-aged man in his 30s. Being able to become a high-level professional in his 30s should be considered a genius. But compared to the woman, he was far from it. The woman looked only 20 years old, very young. Of course, no one believed that she was really only 20 years old. The woman didn't turn her head, and her small mouth opened slightly, uttering 2 words, "Yes." Her voice was slightly cold, with a hint of arrogance. After saying that, the woman lifted her leg and left. The man was about to chase after her when he suddenly felt his eyes blur and had already lost sight of the other person. He quickly searched and found that the woman had already come to a place more than 10 meters away. Then, His eyes blurred again, and the woman disappeared again, moving more than 10 meters away again. So fast, he exclaimed secretly. The woman was clearly just taking simple steps, each step being more than 10 meters. After a few steps, she was completely out of sight. Despite his shock, he didn't chase after her. He knew the other party didn't want to have any contact with him. His pride as a high-level professional wouldn't allow him to embarrass himself. Leaving Divine Summer Ancient City, and without so many eyes on her, the woman visibly relaxed. That feeling was truly uncomfortable, even painful. She seemed to be regretting something, stepping on the grass and muttering to herself, was this decision right or wrong? Lin Moyu isn't here, and I don't know when he'll come, but besides here, where else can I find him? I can't go to the human world, it seems that only here can I wait for Lin Moyu. There's a saying among humans, since you're here, make the best of it, since I'm here, I'll just wait. She was a demon emperor, or rather, a clone of the demon emperor. She transformed into a human, suppressed her power to come here, just to find Lin Moyu. But now that Lin Moyu wasn't here, she could only wait. She casually found a large rock outside the city and lay down on it, looking slightly languid. An invisible barrier appeared, concealing her aura and hiding her figure. The passing professionals were oblivious to her, unable to see her at all. For high-level professionals, her level was too high. If she didn't want to be discovered, neither high-level nor top-level professionals could find her. She wasn't in a hurry, she believed Lin Moyu would eventually come here. Lin Moyu had an aura she left on him, she could sense Lin Moyu's approximate location. Lin Moyu should be in the eternal battlefield, but not in the lower-level space, but in the upper-level space. With Lin Moyu's level, being able to stay in the upper-level space, his location was obvious. Lin Moyu constantly used his skills, annihilating the soul power bit by bit. At first, he couldn't control it. A wisp of soul power would fly out thousands of meters instantly, and with a little more force, it would be tens of thousands of meters. It was far from his expectations. Lin Moyu envisioned being able to freely control the distance. Starting from 100 meters, up to 100,000 meters, he could fly as far as he wanted. Otherwise, having only speed without precision would greatly reduce the skill's effectiveness. Such a good skill, how could he not make the most of it? It would be too wasteful. But achieving this was very difficult. For 10 consecutive days, Lin Moyu practiced his skills non-stop. He didn't know how many hundreds of thousands of times he practiced, gradually mastering the rhythm and becoming more and more proficient. After 10 days, Lin Moyu could control himself to move freely within a range of 100 to 1,000 meters. With an accuracy of no less than 10 meters, and a time of no more than 0.1 seconds, the speed was as fast as teleportation. Being able to master the skill to this extent within 10 days, and Terry's sighed again, Lin Moyu was indeed a genius. The process of mastering the skill was the process of Lin Moyu improving the precision of his control over his soul power. In the process of cultivating the wings of the undead, the cultivation of the soul-splitting technique also had a great effect. The essence of the soul-splitting technique was to split a wisp of soul from the soul body to form an existence similar to a clone, used to withstand the power of backlash. Because the split wisp of soul was very small, its damage had little effect on the soul. Without damaging the foundation of the soul, up to 5 wisps of soul could be split, so that the purple god-slaying lightning could be released 5 times. If he continued to split his soul, it would affect the foundation of his soul. Of course, with the talent of complete rebirth, even the soul could be reborn. But the activation of the talent had prerequisites, it required someone to kill himself, and with an interval of more than a minute, it was not without weaknesses. But now, after these days of cultivating the wings of the undead, Lin Moyu's control over his soul became more and more subtle. By analogy, he also had a new understanding of the soul-splitting technique. Now Lin Moyu could split smaller and finer soul power, split less soul, and form a clone. Without damaging the foundation of the soul-splitting technique only split 5 wisps, but now it could split 10 wisps. Although there were only 5 more attack opportunities, in battle, a slight difference often meant the difference between life and death. 10 days later, Lin Moyu stopped practicing. He knew that he had cultivated to a certain extent, and continuing to work hard would not have much effect. In fact, from the 8th day on, the effect of cultivation had been minimal. Antares glanced at him. Had enough practice? Lin Moyu nodded. Almost, the effect is not very obvious. Antares looked indifferent. Indeed, it's almost enough. With your soul level, it's not bad to be able to practice to this extent. I don't know about your skills, but in terms of the soul-splitting technique, you've reached your limit. Lin Mo Yu said with a trace of doubt, I can feel that the soul-splitting technique seems to have room for improvement. Of course, you are only in the initial stage of the soul-splitting technique, but you are still far from the next stage. What is the next stage like? What's the use of telling you? Your soul can't bear it at all. Do things according to your level. Lin Mo Yu knew that Antares was starting to play riddles again, but he wasn't in a hurry anyway. When his level came up, he would study it himself. Chapter 700. The Demon Emperor's Shock. Divine Summer Ancient City is the name given by the Divine Summer people. In fact, its real name is God-Slaying Fortress, which is an extremely powerful war weapon. Among them, God-Slaying refers to the true God. In its heyday, with its firepower fully activated, it could slay true gods. The power that Lin Mo Yu can master now is less than 1/10,000th of its heyday, but it can already compete with existences like the Demon Emperor and the Dragon Emperor. Even killing a level 98 demigod like Zhang Yi is not a problem. This shows how powerful the God-Slaying Fortress is. The unknowing Divine Summer people regard the Divine Summer Ancient City as a resting fortress. It is also relying on this fortress that the human race occupies a place on the 4 continents in the lower space of the eternal battlefield. The ancient city is crowded with people and very lively. Lin Mo Yu appeared outside the ancient city again and walked in with big strides. The people in the ancient city seemed to have changed again, and many unfamiliar faces appeared. Some people left the ancient city, left the eternal battlefield, and returned to the human world to enjoy the rare peace. There were also newcomers who entered here and began their adventure careers. Lin Mo Yu could feel a trace of joy from the ancient Thunder Tower. He had already been recognized by the ancient Thunder Tower, and could be considered the new owner of the ancient Thunder Tower. Although he could not completely control this ancient god fortress, the authority he possessed had exceeded that of the Legion commander Feng Yiming. As long as the soul was strong enough, Lin Mo Yu could even control the ancient god fortress to take off and fight. Lin Mo Yu learned from Antares that after cultivating to the god level, the most important thing was the soul. The soul not only represents combat power, but also represents level, realm, future, and so on. The soul is the root of everything. This was Antares' summary of the soul, and Lin Mo Yu also kept it firmly in his heart. This time when he came to Divine Summer Ancient City, Lin Mo Yu did not activate the ancient Thunder Tower. He stood in the square, communicated with the core of the ancient Thunder Tower, and obtained the latest information from the ancient Thunder Tower. The core of the ancient Thunder Tower has many functions, and recording what happens on weekdays is one of them. Based on Lin Mo's perception of Gu Leda should possess some consciousness, similar to the stone spirits in the Divine Stone Dungeon. However, this consciousness is currently dormant, leaving behind only instincts that follow rules. Lin Mo believed his judgment was correct, as he felt that peculiar sensation every time he communicated with Gu Leda's core. When Gu Leda awakens one day, perhaps it will be able to communicate with him. Some powerful artifacts may develop independent intelligence. The Demon Extinguishing Tower also seemed to have developed a trace of intelligence, but its main body was still too weak. Now, by devouring Gu Leda's electric elements, it seemed to be slowly strengthening, but it still had a long way to go before it could truly develop intelligence. Lin Mo saw a figure in Gu Leda's records. A woman wearing a tight-fitting mage robe. This woman was stunningly beautiful. Lin Mo wasn't lecherous, but he had to admit that this woman's beauty was comparable only to the water god. Her beauty alone wasn't enough to surprise Lin Mo. What surprised him was that he seemed to recognize this woman. But he was certain that he had never met her. Yet, for some reason, he felt a sense of familiarity at first glance. This person's identity is suspicious. Lin Mo was sure that this person's identity was definitely suspicious, otherwise she wouldn't have given him this feeling. According to Gu Leda's information, the woman didn't stay long before leaving. When leaving, each step she took covered a distance of more than 10 meters. This once again caught Lin Mo's attention. The woman wasn't moving fast, but rather teleporting. She would take a step, disappear from here, and appear in another place. A bit like teleportation. Is this also a law? After pondering for a moment, Lin Mo couldn't find a corresponding person in his memory, so he had to give up. Recently, because the war had ended, more professionals had come to Gu Leda. Everything was safe and sound. Lin Mo left Divine Summer Ancient City. Along with him, a group of people also left Divine Summer Ancient City. After leaving the city, this group quickly headed in one direction, obviously with a purpose. Someone glanced at Lin Mo before leaving, and the vigilance in their eyes disappeared when they saw that Lin Mo didn't follow. It seemed they had found a boss and wanted to try to defeat it. Lin Mo smiled slightly and quickly guessed their little thoughts. It was good to be vigilant at all times. In a place like the ancient battlefield, losing vigilance could lead to death. As Lin Mo left Divine Summer Ancient City, a will silently descended. The Demon Emperor, who had been waiting outside the ancient city for several days, suddenly opened her eyes. Lin Mo, you've finally come. Her soul's will silently locked onto Lin Mo. Her level was far higher than Lin Mo's, and Lin Mo was completely unaware of this non-hostile lock. Just as she was thinking about how to greet Lin Mo suddenly spread his wings and then disappeared in an instant. The soul lock was severed, and the Demon Emperor couldn't help but reveal a look of shock. Was I discovered? Impossible. With her eyesight, she couldn't even see where Lin Mo had gone. Both her eyes and soul instantly lost track of Lin Mo. She judged that Lin Mo shouldn't have discovered her, but Lin Mo's sudden disappearance made her feel incredible. Zero seeking flowers. The soul had completely lost its lock on Lin Mo, but it didn't matter, the aura she left on Lin Mo was still there. Just a few seconds later, she sensed Lin Mo's aura again. What shocked her was that Lin Mo was more than several thousand kilometers away from her. This speed was too fast. Even some high-level gods didn't have such speed. Lin Mo's speed was already comparable to hers. How can his speed be so fast? This is unreasonable. The next second, Lin Mo's aura disappeared again. The Demon Emperor, with shock, took light steps and sped towards the direction Lin Mo was heading. Her method of moving was different from Lin Mo's. Lin Mo was purely fast, while the Demon Emperor stepped on laws, like teleportation. 0. Each step covered hundreds of kilometers. After a few steps, she had arrived at the place where Lin Mo had appeared before. The sound of waves hitting the shore rang out, and there was also thunder rumbling in the distance. Wind, thunder, sea, the Demon Emperor murmured softly, her eyes filled with memories. Once upon a time, long ago, when she wasn't the Demon Emperor, she had been here. Not only had she been here, but she had also seen the Great Whirlpool. 1,000 years had passed in the blink of an eye. Coming here again, looking at the wind, thunder, sea, she still felt nostalgic. Lin Mo's aura appeared again. In just a few seconds, Lin Mo had crossed the wind, thunder, sea and entered Wind, Thunder Continent. What is he doing on Wind, Thunder Continent? The Demon Emperor followed with a slight smile. Lin Mo's actions aroused her interest. She followed again, crossing the wind, thunder, sea in a few steps, calm and collected, without a trace of fireworks. All her actions were incredibly elegant, completely different from her majestic appearance in the Demon Emperor's palace. She saw that Lin Mo was no longer moving, but had stopped. She hid her figure and approached Lin Mo, seeing that Lin Mo was fighting. Patches of thunder trees were collapsing and dying. Lin Mo stood in midair, watching his undead army wantonly destroy the thunder tree forest. In the air, there was also a huge bone gate covered in silver-white flames, and a giant eye inside the gate was overlooking the world. Is he leveling up? The Demon Emperor realized what Lin Mo was doing. The thunder tree forest under his feet was not small, with more than 30,000 trees, and also possessed a world boss level thunder tree. At this time, this level of thunder tree forest was just a dish for Lin Mo. The undead eye slowly rotated, overlooking the world. The Demon Emperor suddenly frowned, and her soul trembled slightly. Then she heard Lin Mo's voice. Come out, righteous.